Good evening, every single person that's listening to us tonight. Hope you can hear us. I'm not in the chat room yet because I've still got to load up everything, but I hope everybody can still hear us. Now it is time for us to start the very, very special and emotional night called British Wrestling Radio 102nd birthday. Yay! How are you, Nix?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Can everybody still hear us in the chat room?
Yeah, they can.
Oh, excellent stuff. Right, let's get our very special guest in here. And I'm out of breath.
You are out of breath. Get your breath back.
Yeah, we'll be in a minute. Right, ladies and gentlemen, our first special guest is none other than... Hello, Georgia. How are you doing?
Hello, good. How are you?
Ladies and gentlemen, I think Dean's passed out.
Yeah. How you been?
Good. I'm not liking this UK weather today, but it's otherwise good. How about you guys?
Oh, we're stoked at the moment because when we asked people who would like back on, you was number one.
Woo!
You was number one of the whole thing. We were saying, who would you like back on for the 100th show? And it was like, we want Georgia back, so you could bang, 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 bang. So then we went, right, that's it. No questions asked, we'll try his best. And amazingly, you said yes, so thank you very much for that.
No problem, and congratulations to the 100th show.
Thank you very, very much. It's been busy the last few weeks. How's the UK going with you? How's the visit going?
Good. I'm in Birmingham right now, and it was nice and warm last week, and then now I'm like freezing.
Yeah, I think that's it now for summer. I think we've done. I think it's all over with now.
It's packed it in now.
Yeah, next thing we know, it'll be like December, and it'll still be... December's the craziest month because normally we get summer temperatures in December, and then January it just goes crazy. So it's just British weather to us. Some days it's warm, next minute it's freezing. So we try and dress appropriately.
Yes, that's what I only brought like limited shoes, so now I went to Tesco and bought some warmer shoes.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, flip flops, like it will not do for this weather. No.
So how's been the reaction? Have you met up many British wrestlers or fans or anything while you've been over?
What's that?
Have you met many of the British wrestling fans and wrestlers while you've been over here?
I met some at Jim Ross's show. Jim Ross did the evening with him, and he did one in London, I think Cardiff, Manchester, and I think he did one in Scotland. I saw him in Manchester, and some girls recognized me in the bathroom, and I was like, oh, I didn't even think anybody would even know me or anything, and I was like, wow, cool. And I saw a lot of people wearing the Primark British Bulldog shirts there. And then some people asked questions like, do you think there's going to be a SummerSlam here again or a WrestleMania here? And, because British Bulldog was in that, and what was British Bulldog like? And I wanted to be like, I was like, no, just sit and watch. And then he retweeted me, Jim Ross did, a picture of him and I that we took. And all these people were like, you were there? I was like, yep, I was there.
Oh, you're getting to know how much your dad meant to everybody over here then now. You're getting the idea how much.
Oh, yeah, I am. And I did a Wrestle Talk episode when I was here. It's going to be on next week. And I'm kind of like cringing to watch that because I was like still kind of jet lagged, and the drive to London, I don't know, but we'll see. I tried, so if you guys watch it, you'll see how it goes.
And you've just the wrestle show, is that correct? You just did that one about 20 minutes ago, was it?
Sorry, say that again?
Did you just do another radio interview with the Total Wrestling Show just a few minutes ago?
Worked on it.
You still there?
Oh, yeah, I did one with them a couple of days ago, but they posted it today, so...
Oh, well, they said it was live. Sorry, I do apologize. I thought it was actually live, as like we were now. So,
oh no, it's supposed to be live. Whoopsie, I let the cat out of the bag.
Oh dear. But no, people's been asking me questions and everything all day. And one of my friends over here says, "You really got the daughter?" And I went, "Yes." He went, "Oh, can you ask me this question?" So later on, I think there's about loads of questions people want to ask. We've got a phone line if that's all right. If people want to ring in and ask you anything.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Superb. Thank you very much for everything you did with Callum. Callum got the money all together. He's not doing
Thank
too
you.
well. He's not doing too well this weekend, poor lad. He's
Yeah,
he's
that's what his
having.
mom was telling me. I felt really bad. Hello?
Hello, George. Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, no problem.
Oh, I'm
No
really
problem.
sorry about that, but we're back. We're back.
We're back in
Oh,
business.
hail, hallelujah. Thank you for so much. It's just one of them. I think Skype is one of the busiest nights is on Sunday night when everybody's ringing each other.
Yeah, sometimes the group chats, especially, like that's when Skype becomes weak, especially on a Sunday night. So we'll give it all we got.
Come on, let's go. Right. No. So everybody who've gone, it's just been a mass like the British Bulldog to SummerSlam stuff and everything, and getting WrestleMania over here. Do you understand? Have you seen other people asking him to be put in the Hall of Fame that's over here as well?
Yeah, I know. Kudos to a guy named Michael Finney and a Darren Hackett and a Natalie Wood from the UK who have made a petition on petition.org for my dad to get into the Hall of Fame, and they've gotten like 1,100 signatures or something for the petition. So proof is in the pudding.
I think everybody's understanding. I think when WWE come over here in November, I think everybody's getting together and trying to get a British Bulldog for the Hall of Fame place and just go on mass to Raw and just start chanting British Bulldog and letting everybody know how popular the guy will always be over here. And I think they've been trying to get me involved in it, and I've got to. I don't know whether I'm going yet, but I really want to. I really want to and get this off and going. And
that would be awesome.
Just to get the British Bulldog chance and everything, just like it was. And I think Harry's over here as well, isn't he? He's doing massive. He's doing quite a few wrestling dates over here as well soon.
Oh yeah, he will be. He'll be there. Here.
There was
I'll be in October as well. So woohoo!
Yeah, you're doing a wrestling event in Hereford, aren't you? I saw the poster today. I saw the poster with your face on it today as well. So
yeah, that poster, I really liked it. I really liked how they made it.
Yeah. So if you're near the Hereford area in October, the Iron Fist Wrestling are doing an event, and this lady's doing an appearance. So you get to meet Georgia. So if you're near Hereford, they'll be going. Yep. You wait now. All these people will be like, going, "Oh, gotta go to Hereford now. Where is it? Where is it?" And they don't know exactly where it is, and so. But no. But thanks very much. So, not a great fan of the British weather then.
I'm used to it because of Canada, but just like I don't know. After living in Florida for so long and then moving back to Canada when it was getting warmer, and then now I was liking the summer weather here and enjoying the little mini heat wave that I experienced, and all of a sudden yesterday I was like, dear God, I can see my breath outside. No.
Yeah.
But
weather, what can we say? Sometimes it's just nice, and then all of a sudden it lets us know how feeble we really are and how cold we can be at the drop of a hat.
I know.
Yeah. So, how's everyone with have you been in contact with Natalia at any point over the last couple of weeks? Getting ready for a championship tonight.
I spoke to her a couple of weeks ago, just texting quickly, and I spoke to her when her show was when the Total Divas show aired, and she just messaged me and she said, "Did you watch it? Did you like it?" And I said, "Yeah, I saw it," and that was about it.
Yeah, what do you think to the Total Divas? Really, is it a good show for you? Because I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know.
It's a good show. Like I'm glad that they're showing Tyson in it and like a TJ and kind of like his personality and stuff, because I don't know if you can see that on WWE. And I just watch it because Natty's on it, but I couldn't really care less about the other people. Honestly, like, and it is what it is. It's a reality show. But it's a good. Like, I'm glad. I don't know how much they're doing with the divas in WWE, but if they're showing, giving them some time and endorsing them on there, then cool. Why not, right?
Yeah. Yep, definitely. I saw today that you saw an episode of the A-Team today.
Yeah.
And with your dad and Dynamite in it as well. I mean, I think we remember it in the 80s, but I think we missed the fact because I think everybody was watching it because of Hogan. And then slyly in the background, you see two very, very familiar faces.
Yep.
Called the British Bulldogs.
Yep, the British Bulldogs. Yes, yep, they're back there. And when I was at the Gold's Gym in Venice Beach, California last year, when I was walking up the stairs, I was like, wait a minute, that's a picture of my dad. And that's where they filmed it, was at that Gold's Gym. But it's a picture of my dad, Ricky Steamboat, Dynamite's in the background, and Hulk Hogan. But it's just my dad's right front and center. I was like, cool. And I took a picture of it. I was like, my dad's in like the Hollywood of gyms. That's awesome.
Superb. Is there any gyms that won't have a photograph of your dad, though, to be honest, group across America? I think he must have gone into every gym in the world. I think there's a lot of people around that remember you. I mean, we'll always remember your dad and everything, and nothing will ever change that. They look at the size of your dad, like 1989, 91, and then when it came to like 96, 97, he's so slimmed down, and it was like,
I know.
It was like, wow, look at that. And yeah, must have been great having a dad in a number 3 in the pop chart singing Slam Jam.
Oh my gosh, I know. I actually did on the wrestling show that I did. They said, think of a question, because we're giving away a British Bulldog shirt, a retro one, and come up with a question for people to answer, and whoever answers it correctly wins the shirt. And I said, okay, which person produced the hit Slam Jam?
Simon Cowell. There we go.
Simon Cowell was what I said, but I was like, okay, this kind of has to do with my dad, but
Yeah, it was number 3 in the charts. I mean, I think I bought the cassette. I remember buying the cassette. So it was before I had CDs, so I didn't have a cassette player. But I remember buying the cassette for it. And
I remember that song replayed in my house for a long time.
It was crazy because they took his voice off it, because it was the middle of that when he was, well, some people say released. Some people say he was fired with the Ultimate Warrior because they were made the scapegoats for the steroids thing. And his voice disappeared off the record. If you get it, you could give there's 2 versions of the Slam Jam. There's one with your dad on it, and then there's one without him. And I'm like, Vince has even gone that far now to remove British Bulldog from the Slam Jam video. And how crazy was that? I think, end of the day, I mean, just leave him on. He made the song. He did his famous British Bulldog, you're going down thing. Should have left him on it, but no. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of the Bulldog again as usual. Yeah. But are you still there, Georgia? Not again.
Oh, it's happened again.
Right, we'll get it back. It's happened again. There's only a couple of us in here, so. But it's happened again. Anyway, we'll just keep going on then. So, I mean, it's great to think that. I mean, we found out now that she doesn't like Total Divas. That is strange.
No, it's not really, because the whole show's a fucking an embarrassment. But
Yeah, hold on, excuse me. Doing a watershed. Who told me watershed first?
Sorry.
And who said I've been on my best behaviour, half an hour, no swearing, and who swears for the first time? Yellow
I'm
card.
sorry.
There you go.
I'm really
Getting
sorry.
it.
It is exactly what it is. I really can't help it. You know how I feel about it.
Yeah, see, there you go. Everyone has a go at me about it, and then all of a sudden, boom, 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 there you go. Wow, wow, wow. Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you very much for that one. Ha.
Ha!
There you go. Hey, we're back again. Ha ha, there we go.
Yeah.
We're talking about the Slam Jam thing. Do you remember when they took him off it? It was just crazy, the fact that one bit had him on, and then the next minute just removed him.
I know. I remember, because whenever I watched the video of it, because they did like a video and my dad's not in it.
Yeah, there's 2 versions on YouTube. I found both versions, and I'm like, hold on, you can't cut him out. You can't. But, was he fired in 92 or was he released? The official word, because we think with the steroids thing and everything, because we've heard rumours he was fired, we heard rumours that he was released. I just think he was fired because of the steroids, because him and the Warrior just got the elbow at the end of 92.
That's what happened, is he got fired, and it was just like so sad, because it was right after the whole Wembley Stadium thing happened.
Yeah.
And then I remember I can't remember how long it was later, but I remember being in his house in England, his parents' house, and we were watching that one match with Bret and Owen. Do you know, it's like it was a match with them. I don't know if it was at a WrestleMania or if it was a SummerSlam match, but I remember my dad was watching it, and it was just kind of like sad, because we could all tell that he wanted to be there and he wanted to be in the TV in the match.
Yeah,
That-
WrestleMania. I think at the
Yeah.
WrestleMania. Because remember, I think the first time anybody saw him back was we was all used to seeing him with the dreadlocks and the back hair and everything. And the first time we see him at SummerSlam '94, he's got this big mane of hair, and then he's wearing glasses, and we're like, "Whoa, hold on a
Yes,
minute,
yeah.
what's happened?"
That's what I'm talking about. Yes, yeah, I know. I was watching that. It was another match with Owen and Bret, and I think Jim was in the audience.
Yeah.
I think that's the one that you're talking about. And
Yeah, the cage
my
match.
dad's got the glasses on. He's got like this green vest, and I was watching with somebody, and they're like, "You look just like your dad there. Like you look exactly like your dad there. Same hair, same everything." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." And when I was watching the A-Team yesterday, they're like, "Oh my God, that's you." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." I know. Pretty much.
Yeah.
I don't really look anything like my mom, and it's so funny because Brett's daughter Beans looks like my mom, and then I guess I'm just female Davy Boy Smith. That's what I look like.
Can't do no better than that, really. You can't.
Nope.
A lot of people go up to Harry while he's over. I mean, there's a few people get in contact with me about it and saying, "Ain't he gorgeous?" And I'm like, "Well, I wouldn't know because I'm a male." And they're like, "Oh, but he's so much like his dad." And I went, "Well, yeah, obviously." She went, "But he's huge." And I went, "Well, British Bulldog David Boy Smith wasn't exactly a skinny person." She goes, "Yeah, but Harry puts him to shame. He's massive and he's gorgeous." So I think Harry's going to have a massive female fan club follow him everywhere.
Oh yeah, he's already got that. He's already. Oh yeah, I posted a picture of me and Harry and my mom on Instagram, and I got a comment like, "Please tell Harry to marry me." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll get rid of that."
Oh, well, I try and stay away from Twitter at the moment because I've been getting death threats from One Direction fans this week. I'm keeping
Oh dear.
away. Yes, this little group that's supposed to be, and I'm getting death threats from 10-year-olds this week. So I'm keeping off of Twitter.
Sometimes you just got to do that because you're like, okay, people, like it's just Twitter. Calm down.
It's 140 letters. That's all it is. Don't get excited by it. But Twitter and Facebook, I think, have regenerated the British wrestling scene over here massively. And I think it just does amazing. And we wouldn't have been on doing this if it wasn't for Facebook, really. But all hail Facebook. So, I mean, since you've been over here, it's like, I mean, apart from the weather and everything, doing much shopping? Your shopping's okay?
I went to, I can't remember what mall it was at, but I got some stuff at Primark.
Yeah.
I got a Costa coffee there, my Uncle Brett's favorite coffee. I can't think of the mall, but it's like in Birmingham.
Yeah.
And that's about all the shopping I've done except for go to Tesco. I love Tesco's.
Yeah.
What else? Yeah, we'll try to see too if in Primark they had my dad's shirts still there, but they were gone.
Yeah. How long are you staying now? Are you staying there for a few more weeks and then flying home?
Yeah, I'll be here.
Oh no! Don't do this to me. Let's get it back. We'll get it back in here. Sorry guys about this. We'll get it in. No, you all right, Nix? Even Nixy's not.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I said I like the fact that we have to get that particular shop on here, don't we?
Yes, well, it's official. We do like to do things in here, and we're trying our best, and hopefully we get Georgia.
It would have to be. It could only ever be when I'm around, can't it?
Yeah, definitely. What else could we do? I hope everyone's having a nice time. I mean, it's great. We're reminiscing about the man himself and asking what George is up to and stuff, and we're getting there and
She's
everything.
doing like a tour over here then, because I don't really know.
I think she's just visiting people and just doing what she wants. Really, it's a nice thing. But I think. Now, done that. Are you still there?
I'm still there, yeah.
Is everyone can hear us still? Hope everyone can hear us still.
Yeah, we're live. What's the One Direction death threat thing? Tell me about that, because I don't know about it.
I will reveal all later. Don't worry, I'm not doing it
I
with
really
special
want to
guests.
know about it.
All will be revealed later on, okay? That's all I'm saying. Right. Some things are left private at the moment.
Okay.
Yes, and we'll see how that goes.
I'm desperate to know about it.
I bet you are.
I am. I really am.
I bet you are.
We are back in business.
Hello.
Yay.
Sorry. Hey, you're right about this Sunday night thing. Dear me. So we just said you was just going. You did the Primark thing and everything, and Tesco's and stuff. So and then you're on the way back home in a couple of weeks.
Oh yeah, I was saying I'll be here in October and November, so I'll be here for a little while.
All right. So everybody, keep looking out for George around the UK.
Yeah.
Keep looking.
Keep looking out for me. I'll be popping up like a little groundhog.
I've got a question from a gentleman in our chat room on our webpage by the name of Martin Band, and I think this is from the late 90s. He asks us, and let me find it. He sent it to me phone about 3 days ago. This lad, and he's massive Bulldog fan, and he says, "Hi Georgia, could you task what the real reason in 1997 was that the WWE didn't let Owen go when they let the same time as they let everybody else go?" If you know that one.
Well, what happened was they weren't let go. Bret was quitting to go to WCW.
Yeah.
And my dad and Jim followed with him and I can kind of see like the situation a little better, but back when it was going on, we were kind of like thinking like kicking ourselves, not ourselves, but my dad was kind of like, I should have stayed with WWE. I would have be doing more things. I wouldn't have broken my back, blah blah blah. And I can see that. But back then, like Bret had the screw job happen, and also when my dad wrestled that match with Shawn Michaels and he had lost.
Yeah.
They pretty much did this like a screw job with my dad because they just told him moments before the match that he wasn't going to be winning. So in front of his family and his dying sister.
Yeah.
In his home or in his hometown, that he was going to be losing. So Bret was kind of saying like, you should come with us. They're not going to be doing anything with you here. And they screwed Bret and they kind of screwed my dad. So my dad was like, and I think why they did that with my dad was because they knew Bret was leaving.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what happened. So my dad went with him and they were also going to be getting more money. And then Owen chose to stay. So they weren't released or fired or anything. My dad actually paid $100,000 to get out of that contract with WWF to go to WCW.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all. I mean, I think it was costing him financially and emotionally as well, because everything that happened, I think we was all over here and just going. And then next thing we saw the screw job, and which company was still one of the biggest talking points. No matter where you go, everybody still's got an opinion on it. People saying it's a work, some people say it's real, some said, "Oh yeah, it was all set up."
Oh yeah, that was real, and that was real. And Jim Ross got that question too, because somebody said, that's got to be fake, and Jim Ross said, "Do you think the Sasquatch is fake, or do you think the Sasquatch is real?" He's like, "No, that was real. That was 100% real, and it was real. It was two rivalries that came together, and Vince did that, and yeah, that was all real. And if it wasn't real, a lot of bad stuff happened after it. So I don't think that was real."
I think one of the funniest posters I remember at that time, I was so still like the Heart Foundation year, was like giving the birth to like the seeds of the Attitude Era was there, because you saw Bret and you saw Owen and Jim and your dad and Pillman doing stuff that you never saw before, and it was getting really, really edgy, and it was really thinking, I know it's supposed to be entertainment, but that's got to be real. The hatred you see there, that's got to be real.
Oh yeah.
And it was just building up. So I think the actual year was 97 when it was building up with the Heart Foundation. And I always remember one poster, and I can see it in my mind now. It's got Pillman, your dad, Bret, Jim, and Owen, all in a line, peeing on this USA flag in front of, and I'm like, oh hello, how did I thought security would have never allowed that in nowadays. Well, they don't allow posters in the UK shows with the WWE now. They confiscate all the flags over here now. Anybody's got a decent size, anybody's got a written out poster, they confiscate it over here now. So
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's the WWE over here. It's apparently the official line is it stops the view of the person behind you from seeing the thing what you've paid for. I'm like, yep, okay, fair enough. And but I think everybody's think the 97, 98 era was always the Hart Foundation. Oh God, mind me on. Oh no, I'm not. Nixy, are you there? George, you still there? Sorry. Oh God, here we go again. Try and get it back. Hope you're enjoying this. I know I am. Nixy, you.
There we go.
Ah, there we go. Yeah, we're better than ever. It's getting quicker now. It's getting quicker. I mean, the late night. It's not cold. Was there there's a massive rumor going on over here. I know it keeps on about with your dad and stuff. There's a rumor going around that your dad got asked by the WCW to join the NWO at some point.
Heard of that. I've gotten a few questions about that. And some people, photoshopped pictures of like my dad wearing an NWO shirt and sent it to me. And they're like, if this would have happened, this would have been amazing. And I was like, I really have no idea. I wish I knew if that was true.
It's one of them great ones, because when we did the tribute show, this guy came in the chat room and absolutely tried to do everything we could about the Bulldog. And he said, oh yeah, well, the British Bulldog wasn't supposed to be in the WWF in 95, 96. He was joining WCW. He was going to be one of the mainstays of the New World Order and all this. And we're like, what? When? When did this supposed to have happened? And so thank you very much for that one.
I wish I knew, because that would be awesome if they had a British guy or my dad. That would have been awesome if they had that in there. If they incorporated that. I mean, they had Virgil in there, for God's sake.
Yeah, everyone's just saying about my Bulldog rant because this guy tried to badmouth him, and I just went mental for about 15 minutes. And just completely going, you want to have a go at the British Bulldog? Then ring this number now. And if anybody wants to ring in, it's the same number as then it was before. 01223 911 822. Come and give us a ring and speak to this wonderful person that's the other end of this headset that's decided to join us. And even though after all these mess ups that's happening with Skype, she's still talking to us, and I can't believe it. I'm so thankful for doing this tonight, George. I really, really am.
Oh, no problem. I enjoy speaking to you guys.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, the charity show. I think me and Nixy still can't believe you did 3.5 hours that night. It was like, she went 3.5 hours. Do you realise that? And then when your mum came on as well, the whole lot got put on YouTube. So that segment with everything was on there, the whole first 9.5 hours. So everybody was like, oh,
you got in trouble for that, though.
Yeah, but I ain't put on the other bit yet. So, and we had the loads of money. The day itself, we raised 630, and Callum's mum was so grateful to us. We had Callum come on the show, and he spoke to us twice. So that was one of these things. And then we had this biggest John Cena fan in the world ring us up and trying to tell us about John Cena and everything. And just, what's your opinions on John Cena? Are you just like everybody else when you see him as wrestling, you're going, oh, he's terrible, and then you see the person outside the ring doing all the great charity work at the same time?
Yeah, I've met him a few times, and he's always been nice. He's always, he's takes time and says hi to people. I remember because I saw him when he was working out at my uncle's gym, and I was like, is that John Cena? And then I was like, oh yeah, that is. And like that was when his like rap album came out, and one of my friends was like a massive John Cena fan, so I was like, oh, can you sign this for my friend? And he was very nice. And then I remember I saw him at a WrestleMania, and we were in the elevator, and me and my cousin that had seen him at the gym. My cousin's like, do you remember us? And he's like, yes, I do. And he remembered who we were, and this was like 9, 10, 11, 12, like 3 years later. And yeah, so. But in the ring, I don't know. He just kind of looks awkward.
I've got another question here from a gentleman. He's celebrating his happy wedding anniversary tonight, so he's not listening, but he's going to listen to the playback. Chris Hillman, who's affectionately known as Warrior One in our chat room, and he asks, "Are you there, George? You still?"
Yep, I'm here.
Sorry, it's Nixy's playing up. Not bothered.
I'm all right.
It just said. He says, "What do you still watch your dad's matches? And if so, what's your favourite one?"
I do enjoy I still do watch his matches. And which match? I really enjoy actually watching his new matches. His most current ones, like in 1999 and stuff. I saw a match of him and X-Pac. I thought that was good. and I tweeted it to X-Pac, and he was like, "Whoa, thanks for showing me this." And I saw a match with him and The Rock, and it was just really neat to see because The Rock, he wasn't bigger than my dad, but like he was a lot taller than my dad. And I've never seen my dad wrestle somebody that was except for Diesel, but it was just, I liked how, like, because The Rock has his own style, and then my dad had his style, and then I liked that match. They wrestled a couple of times. Let me see. Another match is obviously Wembley Stadium. That's number uno.
Yeah.
The Calgary Stampede match I really enjoy, or the match that was what was that pay-per-view called?
Oh,
It's summer.
It was Calgary Stampede, I think,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, In Your House, Calgary Stampede. Somebody's put the whole lot on YouTube. This guy has got every In Your House on YouTube in the entirety in one go, and he's put them all on. So if anybody wants to watch them, great stuff to watch, and all the stuff with Bulldog versus Shawn Michaels, with the kissing your mum as a thing, and that feud seemed to have gone off and stuff, and that was great. It's great stuff to see, but yeah. But I think when you look back at it, it's just amazing times and stuff. But what can you do? I think the Calgary Stampede has got to be one of the highlights for me. I like watching that one a lot. Yeah. Are you still there? Yeah. Oh, hold on. Here we go again. Hold on. Right. We're trying our best, guys. Sorry about this. Nixy, you still there, aren't you?
Yeah, but you're in trouble.
Why am I in trouble?
I'm not bothered.
About what?
You just said I'm not bothered.
I'll get out of this. Shush, we a woman.
You did. You said you weren't bothered if I mucked up.
You swore before the watershed.
Yeah, but you swore before I swore before the watershed.
Yeah, well, get rid of that. You swore, so don't worry about that.
Yeah, but you beat me to it.
Well, what we do?
You're still dead.
I'm not dead. I'm not dead at all. I'm your boss. I can do what I want.
No, you're dead.
No, I don't care. I'm sorry. No, I'm not dead. There we go. It's a typical British wrestling radio with technical problems, unfortunately. We had one technical problem in the charity show, and it happened 25 minutes before the end. That was the funniest thing in the lot. We had all these things going off, and it didn't go off once, and then at the end it did, and it just went off for a few seconds. But I think the Calgary Stampede, like I said, got to be one of the highlights of a lot of people's careers, and just seeing it was just awesome. 5-on-5 tag match. You'll never see that again.
No.
Oh, not in a million.
Definitely not.
Not especially. I don't think there's 10 superstars in the WWE now that could pull it off as well as as everybody did in that match. But,
no, and everybody was so different and had their own look and had it. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So I think somebody over here once gave me a T-shirt and it had it signed by the Calgary Stampede in promotion in 2002. And they said, "Is this real?" And I said, "Why?" And said, "In the bottom left-hand corner, there's your dad's signature." And I was like, "Oh wow!" And
I bet you that was real.
Yeah, it's. I put a picture on it on Twitter actually. I'll show it. I'll retweet it to you.
Yeah, tweet it to me because I bet you it's real. And somebody tweeted to me too. They said, "I got your dad's signature on his last match in Winnipeg." And they got my dad signed a $20 bill, and then he signed the person's ticket as well. I was like, "Wow, that's pretty cool."
I think everybody with him has how much affection. We've got to get him in the Hall of Fame. I just want it now. I don't want it in 5 years. I don't want it in 20. If you can put Coco Beware in the Hall of Fame, and you can put an American footballer in the Hall of Fame, and you can put a boxer, surely you can put in one of the best groups in WWE. I don't care. I'd love the Bulldogs to be in it. I'd love the Hart Foundation to be in it. But I want just for that video to come up on one Monday Night Raw and say the next member of the Hall of Fame is from. Did you used to get mad when he said he's from Leeds? Because we used to go up the wall over here. Because he went, he's not from Leeds. He's from near Warrington. He's not a Yorkshire person. He's from Warrington.
I know, they always changed it. And then I remember I saw a promo that he did, and he's like, "In my hometown, London, England." And I'm like,
what? With the biggest, best northern accent ever in London. Oh, yeah, the Battle of Royal at the Royal Albert Hall. I remember that one.
Yeah, that's the promo. And I was just kind of like, laughed to myself. I'm like, yeah, because it's total opposite directions. And then they said he was from Leeds. Like, okay, Manchester, that's close enough. Okay. because they're not going to say coming from Goulburn, England. So
the only place they actually put on there's a gentleman he's done on the YouTube's great to watch all the old wrestling stuff. Somebody's actually put your dad age 16 with Big Daddy in a tag match, and they put a picture on Facebook of it, and I'll see if I can get it sent to you. And underneath the comments are going, "Are you telling me the British Bulldog is really that skinny? He was really that skinny?" And everybody went, "Yeah, he was 16. He was 16 and on TV with a Big Daddy." And he's like, and I don't think people realised, and when you could see it going through the late 70s, how big he was becoming, and all the muscle that was starting to appear because of the hearts and everything, and all the hearts in Canada and everything, and he was just growing and growing and just getting this big muscle guy.
Yeah,
everybody knew and loved. And
I know when I watch those matches too, I'm like, how is it that my dad was that skinny at 16, but I wasn't? I'm like, oh my god, that's crazy. But yeah, it's like you said, when you're raised with the Hearts, they make you eat. They make you, you don't leave the table unless your dish is empty. So
yeah.
Bulk that boy up, and
bulking. Yeah. I always remember watching, the World of Sport matches and stuff and everything when you saw him. I remember him getting £100 off of one of the guys for winning the match, and he had to do it in the middle of the ring, and you had to give him £100, and did it in £5 notes, and that was funny. But then he just disappeared, and then next thing we know, we see him as part of the British Bulldogs over here, and then we had the WCW thing in the middle 90s and everything that happened. But your dad was one huge guy, and when he went in the ring, I think when he came over here, it was like as soon as he announced the tours, everybody used to say, "Is the British Bulldog on the card?" Because if he was, you knew it was a mass rush for the tickets the next morning. Because as soon as they announced it, everywhere was sold out. Union Jacks everywhere, just going out. As soon as you heard the music, everybody was rushing to the ring and trying to get hold of him. I think it took him one night 45 minutes to get from one end of the ring to do a circle around the ring, and I think that was at Sheffield Arena in '92. He started at one, and it took him so long because he wanted to shake everybody's hand and just to thank you for coming, and everybody just got hold of him and just going, "Look, this is our guy. We don't care. We don't care about Macho Man Randy Savage and Shawn Michaels and all these other ones on the card. Bulldog's our boy." And he shook hands with everybody, and everyone's like, "Top lad. He's our top man. He's our guy." And I think that's the only reason why WCW became popular over here. It was because when he went to WCW with Sting and went into this thing with Sting and versus Vader and everything, WCW got popular. So I still think he's responsible for the most of the American wrestling we watch today.
I agree. And I was saying in an interview a couple of days ago, I was like, my dad put England on the map for wrestling.
He did, yeah.
And I was like, because they were asking me too, they said, "When do you think your dad's going to be in the Hall of Fame?" I said, I honestly wish I had an answer for that. And I just said, people are doing a petition. And I said, WWE has their way of doing things or whatever. Like they want to do things their way, their time. So I said, I don't know. I said, but I don't want to be 40 years old going up on a stage or in an audience watching my dad be in the Hall of Fame. I said, and the guy said too, he's like, "It's long overdue." And I said, "I know. It's ridiculous."
See, Vince, this is the British Bulldog's daughter talking, and this is the whole of British wrestling talking, this little bit here. We want the Bulldog in the Hall of Fame. Put him in next year. Because every time we see a video next year and it's not him, I'm just going to go, "What? He's not worthy. No chance. Not worthy at all." And it's like we said before, if you put Coco Beware in the Hall of Fame, then surely you've got to put Davey Boy Smith in.
I know. I agree. I don't think he'll be in it next year because Ultimate Warrior is like buddies with them now. And he should be in it as well because he was a massive star. But I think he'll be like the main guy, I think, or maybe Randy Savage or something, which he should be in as well. Yeah. But
they talk about they're putting Paul Bearer in it and Undertaker's going in because of the thing and stuff. There's all these names and everything that's going in. But if he has, I just want him in.
Me too. I know. And I don't want my dad to be overshadowed by, Ultimate Warrior, Randy Savage. Like, I think he should be in on his own. Like, he should be the highlight.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think everybody in our chat room and everybody listening can agree with that. I think there'll be nobody out there that would do it. I think one person in our chat room just said it. Davey Boy Smith definitely deserves Oh, we've got a call here, George. I'm just going to add him to.
Oh yeah.
Somebody didn't read the memo. Hello, you are calling British Wrestling Radio.
Hi, it's Ross.
Hello, Ross. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, good, mate.
You're through. You're through to the British Bulldog's daughter.
Hi, Georgia.
Hello.
Hi, I was just wondering, what do the family make of Natalia's treatment in WWE at the minute?
What did he? Can you?
It is. He says, what does the family think of Natalia's treatment in the WWE at the moment, like the Great Khali and other thing that's happening? Her screen character and stuff.
I don't know. Like I think Natty and stuff is happy with the whole Total Divas thing, because like I said, I don't know how they treat her in WWE. I'm not sure, but
yeah.
As far as I know, she's happy. So that's all I really know, and yeah, that's about it.
Oh, thanks, Ross, mate. Thank you very much for that. We've got to get off because we've got loads to keep talking about, I think. All right, mate.
All right, mate, I'll get back to the show.
Thank you, mate. Bye-bye.
All right, mate, thanks.
Bye. There you go. Ross Briffett on a mobile. If you're going to ring in, guys, can you just use the phone call, please? 01223 911 822. Not ring in on Skype or anything like that, please, because we don't want to interrupt the connection. No, we want to keep the connection going as long as we can. So have you got any major plans for this week, or are you just you're going to be chilling? Well, I said the word chilling. I didn't mean that like you're going to be cold, but
I'll literally be chilling. This week, nothing that I know of. Last week it was pretty busy, but this week, nothing too much. And then on the 26th of September, it's my birthday.
You hear that? 26th
Yay.
of September. Happy birthday for the 26th.
And I'll be 26 on the 26th.
Wow, 26. Dear. I think one of the highlights of the charity show is when you said, and a lot of people have been talking about it, is when you said that during the Calgary Stampede, when you got on your dad's shoulders and he was sweaty and everything, and a lot of people remember that moment. They don't remember anything else of the 3 hours. They just remember the fact that, let me move this. Hold on, right, get it back in. I know how to do now. Right, there we go. Hold on a second, that's a group call. There we go. I know how to do it now. Aha, there we go. I know how to get this going. So, we'll get it back in. How are you? All right, Nix? And I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not.
I'm enjoying the conversation. This is your area, isn't it? So.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Nix is going to be doing the Attitude Era guys in a bit.
Ooh.
We're going to wrap it up in a bit anyway, because we've got to get the Brit Wres chatting. But we're going to go longer than 3 hours. It's going to be obvious that we're going to be longer than 3 hours because we might mess up at the start, and I hope everyone's having a great time and stuff. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah. You there, Georgia? No? Right, hold on.
Not quite.
Right, let's get her back in. So see if we can get her back in. But it's just same all over. I mean, what would it be without us? I think Skype tonight is just absolutely going to be haywire with us. So, but we'll try and get through. Even if it takes us all night long, we will do it. Yeah. All right, so, I mean, have you got any questions to ask, Nix? Come on, you've got to, surely.
To be honest, you know more about this side of it than I do.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever. You there, Georgie, yet? Nope. No. See, we'll get her. You know, I'm never doing notebooks. I'm going to get a new laptop. I'm going to buy 2 brand new laptops and start over again.
Now we're back.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. I'm really...
No problem.
I think what we were talking about, because I've got so many stress levels is going through the roof at this moment. I think we're on about... you said it was not your birthday and then everything that was going off and stuff... But so your birthday is 26th of September, yeah? So then you're over here for quite a few bits and pieces. You're going to see any British wrestling shows?
I will try. Yeah, I am also going to see, I think Bret's in, he's going to be in London in October for IPW, I think it's... Yes,
that's correct, yeah. I think you just made one member of our chat room so happy by just announcing that. I think you really... they've just announced that Riddick Bowe, the boxer, is coming over here to wrestle for Preston City Wrestling next year. So they got a boxer coming over here now, so that'll be good. But
Oh.
there is loads and loads of events happening in over the next few weeks and months. I know Southside Wrestling have got one, IPW in London. They're always good for a great time and stuff. And if Bret's going to be there, the Revolution Pro, yeah, Do Pro. Everybody's talking about the local promotions now in our chat room. Going, oh, she's got to come and see this. She's got to come and see this. It's called a train service, mate, and the public transport service. Come on, and the motorways. I won't send anybody on these things. That's Is it been easy getting about from place to place, or you've been?
Yeah, it has been. I'm just like, I'm not used to how narrow these roads are. So I'm driving with people, I'm like, oh my god, I think we're gonna like have a head-on collision or something. Because like one road here is like, for two cars here, it's like the equivalent to just one car lane for one car in North America. So I'm not used to it, and everybody's all polite here with their, as you call it, what do you call your blinkers here again?
Oh, indicators.
It's an indicators. When you guys do use your indicators or your lights and to say thank you or to go, everybody's all polite. In the States, everybody just does whatever. They don't care. They don't say thank you.
Oh, so, but I mean, what can we say? I mean, tonight, I think everybody's over the moon of the fact that you've answered all the questions and everything so far. It's the last chance, guys. This is it. This is the last chance. If you want to speak to Georgia, then ring in 01223.
Ring in.
01223 911 822 and speak to this wonderful person that's come back to us for our 100th show tonight, and I am so honoured.
Well, thank you. You guys make me feel like I'm $1 million.
I'm telling you straight. The funniest thing is, I was at a show the other way, and this guy gave me the old WWF magazines, and he said, I think you might like the front, and on one of them was Bret, and on the other one was your dad and the Bulldog, and I went, oh, look at these two, and then opened it up, and one of them was the whole thing about SummerSlam 92, and it had one page missing, and it was the whole page to do with the Bulldog versus Bret, and I'm like, he gave me the magazine, but he kept the Bulldog versus Bret match for himself. And I'm just looking at it going,
thanks.
I was just sat here going, I could not believe you've done that to me. But there's two magazines side by side. It looks great, and I thought they look great together. So I love them with my heart. I think I'm looking at them right now. Actually, I think they're great. These 1992 WWF magazines, what they used to have. I think my first one had your dad on the front anyway, with Winston. I think it was Winston, his Bulldog.
Oh, yeah.
The famous Winston Bulldog. But do you still, I think, with the YouTube and everything, is that how you watch the matches, or have you got this massive library at home? Or?
Harry, he has a lot of wrestling tapes in his room, but yeah, for me, it's just like YouTube. YouTube is amazing. Anything you want to find, there you go. So any match that I'm looking for, YouTube's got it.
Yeah, it's got something on there of me as well. I'm going to keep stum about that. Yeah, Nixy knows all about that.
I know what that is.
Yeah, I bet you do. It's me wrestling, Georgia. Somebody actually has invited me into a Royal Rumble match, and I'm on YouTube, and I look an idiot.
Don't look an idiot.
Well, I do now, because I've had all my hair cut off.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was going to ask. Which do you prefer your dad with? Was it the short hair, the cropped shirt, or was it with the long dreadlocks with the blue, red, white, and blue beads at the bottom? Which was the favourite look for the Bulldog that you had, that the WWE had for the
dreadlocks were pretty cool, and like when I was little, like I would play with the beads and stuff. But I just got so used to the short hair, and like that's what I remember him with, is with the short hair. So, but I don't know, because him and we have the exact same hair, so I can see why he would cut it all off, because it's.
I cried when he cut it off. I'll be serious now. When he went heel, when he did the big famous heel turn, of which nobody over here could believe that the British Bulldog would be a bad guy. That was worse than when Hulk Hogan went bad guy. To see the British Bulldog going bad guy, and the next minute, all his hair got cut off. We went, where's he gone? Whoa, you can't do this. Where's it gone? I think more reaction for that was better than anyone happened over here. The reaction of Davey Boy Smith cutting his hair off, he was just like, no, you can't do that. What are you doing? And I know Lex Luger's been they were signing pictures of him and his dad together as the Allied Powers a lot. I know I've seen them on Twitter and everything, on people's saying it. And then Lex Luger's signing this picture of him and your dad together, which was a good tag team, I suppose, but not one of his best ones. Not one of the best ones, anyway. Oh God, we lost. Oh, Nixy, you there?
I'm there.
All right, get back. She went. Oh, she went. And nobody told me. I didn't even know. I've got to keep looking at this Skype. I really have. This is terrible. No, this is the British line as well. But you'll keep quiet as anything. This is quietest you've ever known. Apart from last week when you just took over my radio station.
Oh, you gave away the prize.
No, did I? I did.
Yeah.
There we go.
Sorry. Like I was saying, I mean, Lex Luger's been showing pictures of him and your dad together, and for the last few weeks, and everyone's saying, "Oh, look, I've got a picture signed by Lex Luger," and I went, "Yeah, but it should be signed with the Bulldog as well." But
Yeah, I know.
no, it was with them. But I don't know what else to say. I don't know what to say. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, you're welcome. I hope I've kept you guys. I hope I've.
Oh, you've done more than enough. I mean, when you were talking, I mean, sorry, we'll go back to it. I think with your dad with his hairs and everything, and you've got the same hairstyle now. So,
Yeah. I would if with him, if I was a man, I would definitely cut my hair off because I have curly hair like him, and it's not fun to deal with. So yeah, I would say his short hair, and also that's just what I remember him with is the short spiky hair. So I'll go with that.
Yeah, it's the thing when it was the one thing that everybody was liking about when in the late 90s when he came back after he broke his back in WCW, which of course was involved the Ultimate Warrior's famous trapdoor.
Yes.
And stuff. I remember the interview he gave with WWF, and your mum was side of him and everything, and all this saying WCW didn't do this for me, they didn't do nothing for me, and all that. And I'm like, I can't believe he went, but he came back, and then he won a title on this first match back. And that pop was out of the world. You cannot find that match on YouTube nowhere. That is one of the things you can't find. The return of the British Bulldog winning the hardcore title. You can't find it anywhere. It's one of these. You can't find it nowhere at all. It's one of these real hard matches to find. You just type it in trying to find it. The British Bulldog wins the hardcore.
Who is he against at that match?
Big Boss Man.
I think it's recently been put on there because I think I watched it recently on there.
Oh, super. But it didn't come out in the Union Jack. It was just jeans and boots. And we're like, oh, where's the Union? I think everybody was nostalgic and everyone going, where's the Union Jack?
Yeah, I remember he was showing me back then because they had different costume ideas, and he was showing me like how they wanted him to be in jeans, and I thought that's different. But at the same time, I was like, my dad never wears jeans. Like he never wore jeans ever. He just wore like sweatpants, and then when he was wrestling, he'd have the tights or the trunks. So I was like, okay, might look different, but I know everybody. I was like, no, Union Jack. Break that.
I think also was when he came over and they made him turn heel when he was over here. I think that surely that got to have an effect on him. I think everybody over here was like, well, excuse me, you cannot put our favourite son, the guy that's responsible for you having all these people here and everything, and you're having him turn heel in front of us.
I know.
And I remember a promo saying, I don't give a damn about my country. I don't give a that. And you could see it in his eyes how much that was hurting him by saying that about the British and everything. And I'm like, no way. And you could just see it. And I'm like, and I'll always remember these things. And my friend's got me a massive Bulldog DVD set that I bought from him. And it's 44 DVDs. And it's everything he did from the early Stampede days, WWF, WCW, which we try and forget because the mad matches and stuff, but all the way through and everything. And it's just a wonderful wrestling career that we've got to remember him by. And we won't stop until the immortal day comes and he's in the Hall of Fame.
I agree. They need to get like the best of like the British Bulldog on DVD. Like that would be awesome.
Absolutely. I think that's the one thing I keep emailing the WWE about, actually. I'm going, when can we have a British Bulldog DVD? because the matches, I'd hate to be the guy. If you've got to involve you or Harry, surely to say, these are the matches we want on the card, like they did with Bret and stuff. But you've got to be one of these that sit down and say, look, these are the matches that we want on the DVD. And it'd be great to see you on a WWE DVD again, everywhere, after the Hart Dynasty one. So.
Oh yes, the Hart, yeah. That was I like cringe every time I watch my part in it. I'm like, oh god. Yeah, but next week when I'm on Wrestle Talk, I was like, I don't know if I can watch this because like I just like cringe when I watch myself on TV and yeah. So if you guys watch it, take it easy on me because I don't.
Yeah, see,
I try.
you got to take it easy on Georgia. Okay, she's over here for a bit, and then
yes, people of UK, take it easy on me. People on YouTube, I know you guys can be cruel with your comments, but bear with me. It was like my first like interview, so
yeah, I think
on
you did
TV.
it's like you said before. I think you did an amazing job on that DVD, and so but everybody in our chat was just going out. We want a Bulldog DVD. We want a Bulldog DVD and stuff. But
I know, me too.
I think we've taken up more than enough of your time on a Sunday night, and thank you so much for being part of this special occasion for me. And
you're very welcome, and I'm glad to talk to you guys. And anytime you want me back on, just send me a tweet, and I'll keep updated if I'm doing any appearances and stuff. So I'd love to meet you guys possibly. So.
Definitely, we'll try and make that happen. We definitely will. I'm in London in 2 weeks because I'm going to see the American football game. My Steelers are playing in that Wembley Stadium, so I'm going to go there in a couple of weeks and watch an NFL game. Cannot wait.
Oh, wow.
I cannot wait for that one. 35 years waiting to see the Steelers, and 2 weeks is going to be great. And I think it's the first time I've been back in Wembley Stadium since they rebuilt it, so it's going to be new for me. And then I can see how big it'll be when we have WrestleMania there one year.
I know. They really need to get their...
Do you think they're holding back? I think, do you think they're holding back with the WWF to put your dad in the Hall of Fame until we have a major wrestling event over here again?
Well, somebody at the Jim Ross thing asked Jim Ross that, and he just said the issue is, and I can see this being a factor, but he just said the thing is the time difference. He said because with a pay-per-view, it's going to be like 5 or 7 hours ahead here, but I can see that. But if they could do that with Wembley Stadium, then why they, surely can do it again.
I think one of the reasons they officially said it was the lowest grossing pay-per-view audience in America ever, because it wasn't live and it was taped and everything, and they wasn't too happy about it. But if it means to, Wembley Stadium has a roof, and if you ask anyone in our chat room and everybody around it, we would take WrestleMania at 4 o'clock in the morning if it meant us having it over here. So we'll take it no matter what time. I think it's just WWE trying to be clever, but we'll take it at 4 o'clock in the morning if it needs to be.
Yeah, I know. I totally agree. And I think that if they did do that, it would. I mean, it obviously wouldn't sell out as fast as the Wembley Stadium match did, but it would. People want wrestling here. They want to see that. So I think they should do that. But
but anyway, I think in November when we get the Bulldog Hall of Fame, we're going to chat. I think there's a lot of people going to be chanting Bulldog Hall of Fame. So just listen out for the chats.
Start that chant. That chant.
Yeah, Bulldog Hall of Fame. We got to get that going. If the British fans can get Fandango chant going at a Raw, we can get the British Bulldog Hall of Fame chant going. We have to. That's got to be a campaign for us right now. But
I totally agree.
Yeah, once again, I just want to say thank you so much for taking your time out to call us tonight, and
you're very welcome.
And I hope you have an amazing time while you're over here in the UK. And,
thank you.
And everybody's happy, and hope you enjoy the wrestling, and hopefully we'll see us. Hopefully we might see each other around Britain at some point, and hopefully we can meet up. That'll be an amazing night, amazing time for me.
Bump into at Tesco's.
Yeah, bump into Tesco's. Yeah.
Bump into one of us at Tesco's.
Yeah, Nixy works at Tesco's. You see.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Georgia, thank you so much. And remember, follow Georgia on Twitter at GeorgiaSmith87. That's right, isn't it? Is that
Yeah,
right?
that's it. You got it.
Excellent. And she's on Facebook and everything, so just search for her. Thank you so much once again for joining us tonight.
You're very
absolutely
welcome,
blown.
and congratulations on 100th.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I am blown away by tonight. I really am. I'm sorry about the Skype issues, but I'm just made up for you took
All
the
right.
time out.
The show must go on.
Thank you so much once again. You take care of
You're
yourself,
welcome.
Georgia.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And there is one very, very nice lady, British Bulldog's daughter, the one and only Georgia Smith, who is over here in the UK for the next few weeks and months anyway. How are you, Nick? So now, you all right? You're going to kill me now? Right.
No, that I left that to you. That's your one, so I leave
Okay.
that to you, and then prepare myself to not disappoint Attitude Era.
Right, if we're going to get the Brit chat guys on, we're going to get them on in any time now. So if anybody at the Brit chats is listening, then we can get yourselves in here right now and stuff. And if anybody wants to send us a message in the chat room and anything, please let us know. And in fact, I'll see what's happening and stuff. Oh, all right. Hold on, got a message from Paul. All right, here we go. Add to group call. Call, are you alive on British Wrestling Radio?
It's Brit Wres Chat.
It's the Brit Wres Chat, guys! Yay! How you doing, you lot?
I'm good. Happy birthday, Nixy, and thanks for having us on, Deano.
Happy birthday.
There you go, Nix. You got happy birthdays.
Yay!
First question for you lot from me. How was your wrestling debut, Sharman?
Should she be called Jugs from now on?
Oh, fucking hell. Oh, I can swear. Oh, this is a relief. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Anyone that doesn't know the background, RCWA, which is Will Ospreay's promotion, did a big charity event yesterday for a child death helpline. And Dave was wrestling.
I was.
He was indeed. Brilliant package pod driver, absolutely. And I had been in a bit of a feud with a 9-year-old child, just because I could. It kind of culminated in he was due to be in Paul Robinson's corner, who was going up against one of my favourite wrestlers, Chuck Cyrus, and I was going to go and I was going to be in Chuck Cyrus's corner. The kid blatantly got scared because he didn't show up. He wasn't there. Probably scared, probably made himself ill, just of worry. So I made my debut yesterday. And they didn't tell me what my name was. And
the full story is that we stood backstage and you allowed me and Chuck Cyrus to decide what your name was going to be.
Yeah. Which I kind of regret now, because originally I was going to be called Tits McGee. Considering the average age of the audience probably wasn't really appropriate, but a bit of Bluetfoot dads, so that was okay. But no, I ended up being called Jugs McGee, which I didn't really know about until they said it, and I just started wetting myself laughing. But then I realised I was a bad person. I wasn't meant to laugh. But no, it was lots of fun. Kids hated me, funnily enough. I don't know where that came from.
Well, was you a heel or a face? This is the question.
I was a heel, yeah.
It was a good heel then.
Good heel. Kids hated me. They were chucking stuff at me. They were hitting me. All sorts of stuff. They were shouting all sorts at me. I think it's because I choked Paul Robinson on the bottom rope, which kind of got a bit of heat. But lots of stuff happened. The ending of the match is that I had to get into the ring while Chuck was down and start having a go at Paul Robinson, who then decided he was going to jump on me and give me a massive smooch.
Yep.
To which I hideously disgusted, but then he ended up beating Chuck Cyrus. So, yeah, lots of fun. So thank you to Will Ospreay for letting me to do it, because I do really enjoy annoying children, and that was just a perfect opportunity. So thanks, Will, for that. But yeah, lots and lots of fun. Indeed.
Oh,
Dave liked it.
So did you catch any shows apart this weekend apart from that one?
No.
Hold on a minute. The Brit Wres Chat people didn't catch any other wrestling shows this weekend?
No, I've had about 4 weeks off now, and it feels really weird. I need to go back to the show.
Yeah, Paul's in a disgrace.
No, I went to the Full House last week and enjoyed that immensely. Especially there was a guy in the audience. If ever you check Full House Wrestling and this guy comes back, he was legendary. The first match happened and Xander Cooper just put his feet on the ropes, and this huge guy that was in the audience just jumped up and he was going ape shit at the ref. Magic Mark, he stood there and he's going, "What do you want me to do about it? What do you want me to do?" And this guy's going, "He was on the ropes. He was on the ropes." And he's pulling the ropes off and everything. And Magic Mark's just stood there going, "Yeah, I agree with you. Okay, I agree with you." You don't get this. Anyway, it's one of the funniest things. I saw Magic Mark trying to do it without. He did it with no microphone the whole night as well.
I think trouble just seems to follow that Full House ring, because I've seen a guy at a Great Bear show for that with that same ring being used jump onto the ring apron and get right in Josh Bodum's face.
I think the funniest thing I've seen with that particular ring was the first night of the debut of Full House. Was Rob Moment was announcing, and then halfway through we saw a plank come up in the ring, and then Rob all the way through wanting an announcement, trying to announce the next show, and he's trying, and now we have next, and he's thumping it down with his foot, and he's walking around and he's trying to get everybody going like he's making a big statement with stamping his right foot, and he's trying to put this plank back in place with his right foot all the time, and I'm like, and the microphone was cutting out on that one as well, and I'm like, they need to work on that mic. And their next show's at the end of November, I think. They're doing the champion show. But, the Full House Wrestling ring seems to be cursed for some reason.
Is that Fallon's ring?
I don't know. I don't know.
The Progress ring.
I think it's the Progress. Yeah.
Yeah, just Progress. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that ring, yeah, it does get some mileage in. Bless it. So amazing stuff. Yeah. That's one way they did the whole... with the hardcore matches and with Josie and Jimmy Havoc when there's blood everywhere, but they literally just disinfected the work, changed the canvas, the works all through the interval. It was amazing. Yeah, I think they might have destroyed a couple of their canvases.
Oh yes, and congratulations on getting 1,000 followers on Twitter. And what announcement? Was it 1,000 followers on Twitter, or you had so many views on your radio thing or something like that?
Oh, I can't remember.
Oh, I thought it was that.
I don't keep tabs on that stuff. That's Phil's department. Phil's stuff. Phil deals with that.
We've hit a few milestones lately, but it's things like it was 15,000 downloads or something we'd hit, and so we released the final vault to commemorate that. And
with Jack Gallagher, yeah.
Right, there's an exclusive for you. They've had 15,000 downloads. Okay, there you go, an exclusive live on British Wrestling Radio. And if you know the joke, if you know the inside joke, you know why I've just done that.
Someone's putting some extra bitch in their tea today.
That's what I'm saying. I ain't saying nothing about it. But all of a sudden, I'm saying there's the exclusive. That's all I'm doing.
I just imagine recap to you and your wonderful new haircut, though.
Oh, don't even go there. I got a bowl patch. I actually cut it all off, and I've got a bowl patch. I'm like, she said she'd gone and sat in the chair, and everyone's gonna laugh at this now because I put this photograph and I made sure it was at the front. And she went, "Would you like to see the back?" And I went, "Yeah, all right." And she'd done it round, and I saw this egg in a nest, and I went, "What's that?" And I went, "Oh God, I can never have long hair again," because all the thing that could go through my mind was, I ain't looking like Hulk Hogan. And I went, "Hold on." And then I thought, hold on a minute, Shawn Michaels pulls it off. No, can't do that. No. So if you see me at shows from now on, I will be permanently wearing a hat. I swear, Lord's my judge, I will only be wearing hats. Ain't no one seeing my hair. Not a chance. I might have the Sticks haircut for the anniversary show in October, because it's his birthday. So I might have the mohawk with the bleach hairdo for him. And we've got to say congratulations to Sticks anyway, because he proposed to his girlfriend this week and he has accepted. So congratulations to Sticks and his lovely fiance on getting hitched. Well done, guys, and stuff. So that was cool. And do you know what they were selling at Full House Wrestling? I've got them in front of me here. British Wrestling Council wristbands.
Oh dear.
Did it just look like our stuff? Did it just say BWC on it?
No, it's a circle and it's got a oh, looks like someone humping an. It does. It looks like somebody's humping an elephant. It does. I'll take a photograph of this. It does look like somebody's humping an elephant, and it's got around the circle on the outside. It says British Wrestling Council, and it does. It looks like somebody's humping an elephant while the elephant's drinking.
Brilliant.
You gotta see it. You gotta see it. It's all crazy. Oh, it's the right way. If it's somebody giving each other a backflip when he's doing the putting his minks in a map and he's doing the bridge. Yeah, that's what it looks like. But if you turn it round, it looks like somebody's humping an elephant. It does. I'm gonna put that picture up. I didn't notice that before. Yeah, they were £2 each. They were selling them. That was all the merchandise they had and the popcorn. They had that and popcorn, and they had a massive queue for popcorn. Especially one kid that looks like he was popcorn mad, and he had the build for it as well. And he just went about. He must have emptied the whole popcorn thing on his own and for British wrestling, isn't it? So where's your next shows you're going to then? Or is it a long list of shows that you've got planned?
Oh, we've got a lot. I think for me and Dave, it's going to be the big weekend at the end of September. We've got
like the Pro,
Southside, and then IPW and Progress in between. So, yeah, we've got like 3 or 4 shows in 3 days, which is ridiculous.
Possibly as well, if we can do it.
Yeah, it's my brain hurts even trying to comprehend all that mileage. It's starting to baffle me now that it's happening a lot more, that lots of promotions are having lots of shows in a short space of time, and then you kind of get a 2-3 week gap. And
did you see the photograph of Chris Travis today? Do you know what's missing? Do you know what's missing from that?
Trav, you've got the mumps, and it's thoroughly terrible. But I'm not going to say what I said when I first saw it.
I'm sorry, but do you know when I saw that picture? Do you know what came in my mind straight away? And this is going to be so wrong, and I offend. If anybody I offend, please give me a buzz.
I really hope you
Yeah.
All it needed was the caption going, "Get in my belly." That's all it needed. That's what it needed. I was like looking at it going, oh my God, what's happened? And poor guy's got mumps. Poor guy. Get well soon, Chris. Get well soon, sunshine.
Yeah, definitely.
You've got some big matches coming on, especially after Sabu hit him on the head. And Marty Skrull took some right stick at Huntingdon at end of August from Sabu and Haskins. He must have took so many headshots with that chair. It was crazy. Poor guy. He gets a new hair.
On the hair.
Yeah, that's all it was.
Hairstyle down. That's what it was.
You should have seen the look. You should have seen the look on the kid's face in Wilkinson's that served Sabu with that chair. It was an absolute dream picture because this kid could not believe that this guy with this big headgear on and everything, and he goes, "Yeah, 2 chairs, please." American accent, and this kid recognised him straight away and nearly fell off the chair in shock. And oh dear! I'll put the photos of humping the elephant up. I promise. I'll show you this anyway. I'm giving away his prizes for our new quiz next week, which I'm going to announce. In fact, we'll announce it now. Quiz as of now, we're going to finish called F&E. Basically, you've got to tell us which wrestlers in the WWE made their debut in either the WWF or the WWE. Simple as that. And if you get 5 in a row, you get a prize. Simple. That's the quiz what we're going to. Me and Nixy's been planning for a couple of weeks now. There's another exclusive. There you go. An exclusive. Seems to be the in word of the moment. Dear. Every 10 seconds. Do you see the exclusive from PCW today? Mr.
Yes.
Mr. Riddick Bowe.
Yeah.
I'm not much boxing, man, so I don't actually know who Riddick Bowe is, if I'm honest.
He had a big feud with Lennox Lewis. He gave up the title that they gave to Lewis, and they never fought each other because Riddick Bowe wouldn't fight each other. That's the only reason I know him.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with him myself, but I'm always skeptical about non-wrestlers making debuts on higher profile cards, and PCW is a higher profile UK indie at the moment.
I'd heard though that he had been training. Like, I don't know who he's trained with though, and if that's true. So, but I mean, I had heard that he'd been training. But
Yeah, I mean, he did say he was intending to start training to be a professional wrestler, and that was earlier on this year. So PCW have obviously acknowledged that and have given him his debut wrestling match. I mean, more interestingly, who would you put him against?
Dave Mastiff.
I was going to say Mastiff.
I think
Mastiff
would
by
be a good
God.
one.
Yeah, Mastiff easily. Did you see the other pronouncement he had when he announced the Go Compare guy was going to be in a Rumble?
No.
I thought that was a troll. I thought that was a lie.
That was it. Just somebody put it up, and he got these PCW graphics and everything, and he went number 16. Go Compare, man. And I went, no way.
Incredible.
That had to be a rib. That had to be.
Yeah, that had to be a troll. If that's legit, that's genuinely thought me chair. Funny.
For all those
I think I'm more excited today about today's announcement that Will Ospreay is going up against Ricochet at Rev Pro in October. That's been the massive announcement for me personally coming out of today, because
knowing Will as well as I do as well, that is huge. And he didn't actually know until this morning when that match graphic was posted that he was going to be facing Ricochet, and he really looks up to Ricochet, so the match will be amazing.
Oh, super for the guy. So come on, I've got to ask this, because I don't think we asked in the 2 hours and bit that you was on last time in the charity show, because I don't think I got a word in once.
I'll make a confession about that. We actually had a structure, and we'd worked very, very hard, and we knew what we were going to do, and we were going to have a mid-year review, and we were going to do all these specific things. Yeah. And then Madams just decided he didn't want to do it, so he decided that day he was going to deliberately set his own challenge that we would never actually go onto the notes that we had made. hence 3 hours of toilet, which I do apologise, but it enabled you to get some kip and get to the toilet as well. So I'm sure that was. I was sat here all the time.
I was sat here. Do you know what I called you? I called you the warm-up pack for Nigel McGuinness that came on later. Because I thought they've just killed. They've just gone straight through all these hours. I'm like, wow, what can I say? They were amazing. You lot were amazing.
We can talk when we get going. That's definitely.
I know that. Okay. So the question is now, I can finally ask you guys everything about it. Right? How did Brit Wres Chat start? What possessed the best you guys to come together all at once and do what I think's the best podcast chat, whatever it is you want to call it, the best one out there for the moment for the British wrestling scene?
Oh, thanks. Paul?
Well, yeah, at the time, towards the end of last year, I was on a different podcast, and I was starting to get a bit disillusioned, I'll be honest, and I started working with Charmin quite a lot with just started talking, and we just clicked and got on really well, and started chatting to Phil, and at the time Mark Pearson was with us as well, and obviously now we had a bit of a roster change, and Mark Adams came in, and now Dave and Dom and Bobby are with us as well, and it just came up around the end of the year. It was like, okay, I need to do something new. I don't really want to talk about the US stuff. I've got no interest in it at all. I only really want to talk about the British stuff. And we all had the same idea. All our mindsets clicked in the same way. And we just thought, why not? Let's give it a go. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But from the mindset we had, we really wanted it to succeed. And it's doing well so far. So all we can do is say thank you to everyone who does listen to us and enjoy the show. And I personally feel very thankful for being able to work with the people that I do on a weekly basis.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's for once it didn't come to us as a genius. Actually, it did kind of come to a genius idea with me and Madams in the pub one day, as normally happens. Those who don't know, me and Magic Mark have known each other since we were kids, and we always had these things that when we spend long periods of time together, we were always going to engineer wrestling shows, and he was going to be my manager, and I was going to be a big hench wrestler that's just going to destroy things for fun, and that's how we would talk about since we were like 15, 16 years old. So we've always had this mutual love of wrestling, and getting to know the guys at the end of the year, and seeing Paul at Fight Club Pro, which is where we all tend to meet up. Mm-hmm. Dave's first Fight Club Pro is this month. We're all in different ends of the country. We all see lots of different shows. We all see lots of different people, and we all wanted to come together and talk about that. And primarily, we just want to make it sound like we're 5 or 6 people just sat in the pub, just yapping about shit, because we don't really want to we do news and stuff, and we talk about matches and shows that are going on, but I really don't think that if we switched off Skype and we all went down the pub, it would be any different.
No. Between all of us, we've got all the parts of the country covered up. We've all got our own opinions, our own favourites, and we are fans first and foremost. We never set out to be any more than that. We just wanted to be fans talking about wrestling, and that's why I think that's why we all click so well, and we all get on well. And even with the people on the show who do work in the business, like Dave Sharman's just made a debut, Magic Mark, Bobby Cash, we're all still fans. We're not trying to use it to further our own careers and our own aspirations.
Yeah.
You know, we're not journos, we're not anything. We just rock up, watch shows, have a laugh.
You hear that, UKFF? We ain't journalists. We're fans. Oh dear.
Yeah, and it's really, really hard, and that's something that when I first started out in particular, because I've only been back into British wrestling for a year after quite a long layoff. When we first started it, I was very quick to stress to people that, you know, we're not in it to get journalist pass, to get press pass, to sit in there and get, you know, walk in for free and sit at the back and critique and stuff. That's not how we roll. We'll walk in, we'll pay our money, we'll buy the merch, we'll mark out with everybody. We're not qualified. We don't Dave trains. So sit there and start critiquing people and what they do and what they should do. We can just express our own personal opinions, and that's kind of what we do. And I obviously enforce my love of Darrell Allen and the London Riots and lots of people, and you know, everyone else talks to everyone else, and that's all it is, really. And
even then, I mean, with the fact that I have, or you know, I do train, and I would never sit there and critique another person in the ring, because I'm still just a fan at the end of the day, and you know, I still love wrestling. That's why I get into it. So I still lose my shit when something's cool. So I don't want to use it to try and push myself anywhere. I'm happy just it's done by fans for fans. I think that's the big thing about it.
Yeah, before now, me and Sharman had been backstage Fight Club Pro doing some interviews, and then walked straight back out and joined the queue, and then still paid our money to get in. And that's by design. We don't ask for handouts, and we don't because at the end of the day, for every person who gets a free ticket or a free DVD, that's more money out the promoter's pocket.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so with the progress interviews, you know, for three shows I did backstage interviews for progress, and that went on the DVDs. But I still went out and bought my ticket day one of sale like everyone else, because I don't want to lose that. I don't want to lose that excitement and fun, and I don't want to, you know, personally, I'm not any part of that business. And I think we've been very fortunate that we've been able to do what we do and meet who we have and randomly end up behind the bar at Southside serving people for drink. But you know, we're just fans and do what we normally do.
Get drunk, shout hello and everything at people at local imbecile and Southside shows and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean,
yeah, end up in the audience pyrotechnics. Yeah, that was an enjoyable experience.
So I think
you get any Jaffa cakes for that? Fucking
no, we didn't. No. Yeah, I everybody don't believe it, but actually, this wrestler called Local Imbecile at Southside shows, actually has a chant called Jaffa Cakes, doesn't it? It just happened at Battle Eagle Street, and from that moment, it just exploded, and everybody's just been going on ever since. It's just Jaffa Cakes. Nobody knows who this guy is, of course, do we?
I have no idea. I know he's from somewhere in the middle of Spain,
and
that he looked on the internet one day once he learnt what Google was and typed in wrestling, and UK and Southside came up, and he decided to make this mega long trip and just appeared. But he's not, you know, he's scared of heights, and you know, he goes to the ropes and clings, and you know, he placates people with Jaffa Cakes. Not always successful.
Well, I've actually just put this photograph of the wristbands on my on the Facebook page at this time, so people can actually see.
It definitely does look like an elephant being humped.
Does it? You've seen it, right?
Yeah.
The one on the left is actually what it's supposed to be. The one on the right is the elephant being humped. So it's just a simple twist of the wristband. Oh, dear me. I'm not putting that the wrong way. No. But I think when you look back at this year, we're getting close to the end of the year now. Is there any mark-out moments that you looked and you think that was the biggest oh my god moment of 2013 so far for you? Have you had anything?
Far too many.
Really?
Between Cyanide and Dave Mastiff twice at Future Shock, and seeing Cyanide do a double springboard moonsault. Not Cyanide, sorry, Dave Mastiff do a double springboard moonsault onto Cyanide, which was just, I lost it when that happened. Cyanide hit a Michinoku driver on Dave Mastiff, which was impressive enough. It's there's been, I'm one of those. I try and be a very positive wrestling fan, and there's so much stuff this year that I've even when I have been trying to be critiquing it for the podcast, I've been found that very hard to do, just because I've marked out for so much.
Any big man matches, Elgin, Mastiff, the two matches.
Yeah.
From that, utterly ridiculous.
The Jushin Thunder Liger entrance on the York Hall show, the crowd reaction, and just seeing the guy come out was pretty incredible. And his match with Devitt.
I think mine was Kevin Steen versus Styx, and then I think Noam Dar versus Dave Mastiff when Dave Rain was just coming up the entrance, and he's supposed to got injured that day. And I'd never seen Dave Mastiff. I'd never been a PCW before, so I'd only seen Dave Mastiff once a few years before. And to see him there, and everything that guy did, I was going, whoa, you are kidding me. And that was a mark out for me. But I think also Man Manson doing a Canadian Destroyer at PCW has got to be one of the oh my God moments of the year. Because I was just looking at it going, and the thing I was watching it on YouTube. I wasn't actually there. So if I'd have been there, I'd have fallen off every chair in the world. There'd have been no way I'd have sat down for that. But I think that one, there's so many this year, I think.
Yeah, ridiculous amounts. I think we've been really, really lucky this year. I think for me, Noam Dar versus El Ligero for the Top Progress Championship was ridiculous. Also,
Noam Dar versus Johnny Gargano at PCW was really good as well.
The Dragon Gate UK shows from earlier in the year were absolutely ridiculous.
El Ligero.
And for me personally, CJ Banks versus Prince Devitt at Infinite earlier in the year was one of those matches that hasn't hit DVD yet, but people really need to see it. It's so good.
Bad on that. You talked about that for weeks.
So good, especially we've seen Devitt chop the hell out of CJ, and the whole place just go in silence because they knew what was coming. Was absolutely brilliant.
MK versus Samurai Del Sol. Or versus Eddie Edwards, and that ladder match was ridiculously insane. Christ. Rob Lynch versus Danny Garnell, when I actually saw Rob Lynch do a top rope corkscrew plancher, which is what is going on? This massive man doing such things.
Colt Cabana, Shah Samuels.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Zack Sabre Jr. versus Tommy End from the latest Southside show in Nottingham.
Robbie X Mighty Skull.
Yeah.
Sick. Devitt Ligero. It's just stupid. I just even trying to list everything. Anything involving Tommy End, because I'm a bit of a pervert.
I think when it gets to the end of the year, our year-end awards are going to be all over the place.
All over the show.
I think,
and it might not even end up being that. It might just be a general couple of hours discussion of some of our favourite stuff. Because I can't drive it.
Your Christmas special is going to be amazing this year. It has to be, because the stuff you've covered is like, whoa, hold on a minute, how can we put this? If my 24-hour show, dear God, that'll be a 24-hour show all on its own.
Yeah, and then we have to allow Curtis on for a couple of hours to pick it.
That takes a couple of hours, so just keep going.
I think the next DVD I'm getting, one of the DVDs I'm getting next is this ICW one that Pixie in our chat room went to when they came outside and attacked the local Tesco's. And everybody in Tesco didn't know what was happening. They thought it was a real fight, and they was going to call the police.
It hit the Scottish Sun. It went in the paper and everything,
Yeah, Pixie's coming on Friday, and she's going to talk all about that and previewing the next one, Fierce Females, as well. So, but I've really made a promise to her that we've got to go to Scotland and see an ICW show at some point. I really am going. I know how to get there cheap now, so I'm gotta go and see an ICW just to
We did the same
experience
thing
it.
last night, didn't we, Sherman?
Yeah, we did. We were just like, yeah, we've got to do it. And
That's all we get out of Phil is how good that show he went to.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That and Fairly Rare. And, really, Bobby. He does it way better than I do.
This is one idea somebody's put in our chat room. Ross has just said, how about this for Southside? Local imbecile versus Mark Haskins. You would have Jaffa Cakes versus hot dogs. How cool would that be? Oh.
An entire meal in a wrestling match. Amazing. Yeah, do it.
Ben Old, book it. Book it. We got to see that. The chance on that match would be immense on its own.
Yeah. Lee Joel James, the chat room, brings up another good match from the exact same Southside show with Tommy End on with Robbie X against Jay Lethal.
Jay Lethal, yeah.
Absolutely insane.
Jay Lethal said that from his entire tour, that was his favourite match. And he enjoyed his match with Kirby as well, even though they nearly flattened a child, which obviously I'm not happy because I'm evil. Yeah, Jay Lethal did say that was his favourite match from all of his travels, which I thought was really nice.
And a very, very close second for me, lethal matches I've seen this year was him against Zach Gibson at Future Shock. Zach Gibson's awesome so far this year.
Yeah. Here's a question for all of you. Sorry. What's been your ideas in 2013 being the best import that's come to British wrestling this year? Here we go. Stumped.
There's been so many good ones. Like Tommy End hasn't had a bad match on UK soil, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Perverted me. Yeah, Tommy is such a nice dude as well, so that always really helps. I think it always helps if the imports come through and that are just really up for it and just really cool to hang out with afterwards. I always find that as a really nice thing. Jay Lethal was really, really sound.
He worked his ass off in every match I saw him have as well.
Yeah. Ricochet, I think, was one of my favourites. Just the sheer amazingness.
Ricochet, Tozawa, and Shingo Takagi, they were definitely the three big standouts from that entire Dragon Gate tour.
Yeah.
And he's not an import, but Noam Dar made a really good account of himself on those shows as well.
Who else?
I think just being a massive New Japan fan anyway, I think the Jushin Liger moment as well was unreal to see them actually over here in character on a show at York Hall. That was quite big.
You've had a blast, y'all. All I've got to say now is 2 words. Adam Curtis.
God, where do we start?
I think I'll have to take full responsibility for the.
I'll just explain to our chat room now at this moment. There's been a famous podcast by these guys that had Adam Curtis on. The first time they had him on, it was edited so much that everything. And the next minute we're going to release the proper interview one day. And every time you see Adam Curtis and Brit Wres chat in the same breath, you know something's going to happen. You just know it. So if ever
so much so we started writing for the blog now as well, which is much more toned down than what he actually says live on air.
I think I pretty much can take full accountability for this. Do you know what? I just felt like it. I'm a massive fan of his, and I don't personally, for me, I don't think he really gets a lot of the recognition or acknowledgement that I think he should do.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
And
at times.
Yeah, and you know what you see is what you get with the guy. None of this is a work. If you think about it, he's quite a bitter man, and you know he hates everything and life and wrestling in particular, and he just wants to tell everyone about it. And for me, I just think that's hilarious. So I decided to have him on one day, and I didn't really realise quite how much it was.
Me and you were recording it. We did it purposely a couple of days before the show was going to go out because we didn't know what to expect. I'm glad we had that couple of days break. Because me and Sharman were like on mute constantly the entire time, so we were laughing so hard that we couldn't actually ask anything.
And we were advised that we should not put the full version out, because we did say we were going to do it for charity, and then we asked Harvey Dale to listen to it for us just to see, and he was like, "You actually can't put this out."
He said the exact words were "brilliant, but this can never see the light of day."
Yeah.
Hear that, Nixy? Harvey Dale's got censorship issues. He's got a censorship limit.
Who'd have thought it?
Who would have thought it? Especially after last week. Dear me.
Yeah.
I thought we'd go for 2 hours last week. Ended up 3.5 hours worth. And I'm like, God's sake, are they ever going to shut up?
It wasn't me, it was him.
Yeah, right, whatever. Bullshit. You got all to ask next because you've just been sat there having a night off, it looks of it.
I've been having the night off.
Yeah,
It's birthday. The lady's allowed to rest. Behave.
Yeah,
especially after last week.
Oh, all right. Okay.
You have no idea what it's like trying to deal with him for 3.5 hours.
That sounds so wrong, doesn't it? That sounds so wrong. Now. You don't know what it's like
let's face it, after the hotel last week.
Oh, dear. It just went downhill. What can I say? I apologise for everybody respecting me last week, but you didn't. You got hard on. Do you know what this means? He got record views on YouTube and everything for us, and I'm like, oh, okay. Don't want to listen to me anymore. Fine. I'll go away. But what can you say? I think you guys do an absolute top job. You can't knock it. You just can't knock for what you guys do. I'm just pleased. We meet up at shows and I just get a chat with you guys, and I'm really honoured for that. And I'll always shout your corner, guys. From day one I've met you. I've always known. I thought these guys are somewhat going to be special, and everybody out there's on Facebook and they're going, oh yeah, well we've got the exclusive this and this. These guys are the number ones. I don't care what anyone else thinks out there. These are the number ones for me. Brit Wres chat. If you listen to anything about British wrestling, listen to these guys. Number one. No one can touch them, and that's the truth. And that's from a daft old fart like me. But I don't care. But these guys are immense. With the amount of miles these guys put in, and everything they go to see British wrestling, they should have the whole Hall of Fame straight away. There's no question about it. It's an absolute pleasure to listen to these guys every single week. And the link's on our webpage. If you go to his links, Brit Wres Chat blog, click on it. It'll take you to all the shows and everything they've done. And you can download them and everywhere. You're on iTunes now, aren't you?
We are. We're on iTunes. We're also on Stitcher Radio. If people have got the Stitcher app installed on Android or iOS, you can just stream us rather than downloading the show, which is just a really convenient way to listen as well.
Yeah, that's why Paul's a tech guy. His man's head will explode if you start to talk about stuff like that. That really means a lot. I was talking to who was on to yesterday? There's lots of people. Lord Gideon Gray, he trains for with Rev Pro, bless him. Yeah. And I was just like asking his opinion because he does listen to the podcast quite a bit. He doesn't listen to it so much for all the information that comes out, but because he can guarantee that at least once a week one of us will say something wildly inappropriate, which will make him laugh hysterically. Like for this week, for example, if you haven't listened to it, Adam Curtis calls Rob Maltman a paedophile.
What an amazing moment.
Yeah, it was like I'd only just gone to the bathroom and come back out, and I was just like, what is going on here?
I was taking a bit of a week off this week because I've had loads of stuff going on in the non-wrestling side of my life, and all I got was a message going, by the way, can you jump on and record this other segment? Adam Curtis and Rob Maltman are still going. It's like, right, okay, guess I'm jumping onto Skype for a few minutes.
Adam Curtis is having a go at Rob Maltman. But only just not that moment as well, bless him. Rob Maltman, love him to death. Amazing, so much fun having him on this week. Called us by the wrong podcast, which was heavily edited out. But then he turned around to Adam Curtis afterwards and just went, so, yeah, Adam, were you at House of Pain Evolution too? To which Curtis just turned around and went, I'm the GM, you fucking idiot. Yeah, he had a blinder, Malden.
Yeah, he was on a good night.
I think when it was at the Southside show in Huntingdon the very last Southside show in Huntingdon, apparently, me and Maltman were just talking, me and Rob, sorry, and we were just talking away, and Sabu came up to us before, they were just putting the ring up, And we were just chatting away, and all of a sudden Sabu came up to us and said, "Excuse me, guys, have you guys got any weed?" And we just went, "Ah!" Just went, "Sorry, we don't smoke." And he went, "Oh yeah, no trouble." Walked away, and then me and Rob just turned into 10-year-olds going, "Oh my God, Sabu just asked us for drugs. Wow." And just stood there and we went, "Well, that's something for the show for this week." And he went, "Yeah, well, I can't say it, can I? Not on my radio show." I went, "Oh yeah, you've got so many responsibilities, haven't you?" And he went, "You've got none." And I went, "And it's the best way." So, the best way.
That's the show that I stole the Adam Curtis poster. I was very, very drunk.
And put him in the bath.
Put him in the bath, yeah. That was a fright when I went to the toilet first thing in the morning. I forgot I did that. I was going for the Tommy End poster, but Dale Mills had his eye on that because Dale Mills really fancies Tommy End. So, so yeah, he was eyeing that one up. So I just took the Curtis one because I just thought it'd be funny.
Right.
But I don't think I've noticed.
Anyway, I've got to cut you off, guys, because we've got loads to catch on still. We've got loads to do and everything for the next thing. You're watching Night of the Champions, and aren't you bothered?
I'm in work tomorrow, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would actually be watching it because I'm liking the direction where WWE is going at the moment. But there's just no chance of staying up that late when I've got to be up for work, ready for 9 o'clock.
I think I will.
I think I might as well.
Yeah, I think I will. Just because I'm at work tomorrow, but I don't care.
Will you be paying £15 or not?
I always pay. I'm a very law-abiding, Sky-paying citizen. Yeah, I pay them. Sadly. But yeah, I feel a duty after going to WrestleMania now that I feel like I have to. Well, actually, technically, it should be the way around. I had to pay all that fucking money to watch that shit. I should get some free ones.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Quite frankly.
Fingers crossed I will see you guys at Stevenage and seeing you guys at the anniversary show, definitely, for this year. That's my next two I've got anyway, because I've got Steelers in 2 weeks, so I can't do the Southside show, unfortunately. So I'm going to Wembley Stadium. So I'm going to be in American football.
That'll be awesome seeing the Steelers live, though.
I've waited 35 years to see my Steelers, and nobody is going to stop me seeing them that day. I don't care. I just want to. So the hardest job for me is picking a shirt out for the day because I've got so many Steelers shirts, and I'm going as the Ultimate Warrior, Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm having the Ultimate Warrior face paint in the Steelers colours and everything. So if you look for this guy in London that's walking through dressed as the Ultimate Warrior with short hair and a bald patch, then it's me. So there you go. So I've got to get a polymer wig from somewhere. I'm trying to find one.
Are you just reliving your past?
Yep, damn right. I'm getting everything out of the way before I hit 45. I swear to God. That's it. It's definitely. But once again, guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I mean, I've absolute blast as usual again. And we will have you on again before Christmas. More than likely. We'll have a proper one when it's just you guys on. And we'll have you guys on.
And congratulations to getting to 100 shows in 2 years. That's absolutely amazing. And also, well done for doing all your work for Callum Murray. You do so much. And I know he's not very well at the moment, and I hope Callum's listening to this and he's doing all right. But you do so much for that, and that's just incredible. So fair play to you.
Thanks.
Yeah, one of my highlights this year was being involved with that, and so thank you very much for that chance, and thanks for having us on today.
Yeah.
No, but I can guarantee we're not doing any more charity shows. I can guarantee that. But I said that to Nixy before, but Nixy always says it. There's always a good cause out there. So who knows?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Fingers crossed anyway. Hopefully we don't have to do nothing again. It'd be hard to top it like this year. It'd be really hard to top this year's. I couldn't believe the stuff we had on it. It was one of the best 24 hours ever. And I've still got to upload it. And I've still got to do it. And my computer's got to be recording for a whole 24 hours at one go. And then the whole lot's on for one thing. So, because I get a Gavin Knotts asking me all the time for the bloody thing. There you go, Gavin. I've mentioned you on the 100th show. There you go. You've got your mention. So.
What are you mentioning? There's no imports.
Oh, yeah. Oh, don't. He went mental at me. He went schizo at me for that. So I'm going to keep out of that conversation again.
I'm only joking.
Yeah, I said I was only joking, but he come out and he says, "What about this? You're called British Wrestling Radio, and you don't talk British. You only talk American, so there." And I went, "All right, where it'll go? Handbags." But he's a cool lad. He does his best. He's with his YouTube channel and everything like that, and his special way he talks. So, but anyway, get back to the subject. Thank you for everything you do for British wrestling. Thanks, great for one of the best podcasts out there. I know everyone in our chat room will now be trying to listen to it. These guys are awesome. Please give them a go. They're the best guys out there for the podcast. Screw everybody else. These are the number one. All right, and that's an exclusive live on British Wrestling Radio. Once and for all. There you go. Another exclusive just for you. There you go. I couldn't resist that. I'm sorry. There we go. Yeah. Shaman knows why, because I told her why earlier on today. Dear me. Dear, that was funny. All right. Anyway, you take care of yourselves, guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks for coming on.
Take
care. Take care. Bye-bye. Well, down 2 down and 1 to go. Hopefully we've had a great... And Nixy, are you ready for yours? Because you're doing this one. You've had your little break. Now you're going to get it. We're going to get
little break.
Right. We've got one more to have. And this gentleman is coming all the way on Skype. And this is Kevin Mahon, who's in charge of the Attitude Era podcast. And he's one of them. And we're going to get this guy on for the next one. And hopefully we're going to be there. And Nixie's going to do this one. This is going to be fun and games.
Oh shit, I dropped out the chat.
Yeah. You there, Kev?
Yeah, hello.
Good evening, sir. This is Kevin, all the way from one of the famous podcasts of all time at the moment now, the Attitude Era podcasts. How you been?
I'm good, yeah, things are going well. Congratulations on reaching 2 years. Happy birthday.
Thank you very much. If you heard the first show, oh my God, I had the misfortune to listen to it this week, and I'm like, what was I thinking? I thought I sounded great, and I went, no, I didn't. I sounded awful.
Oh, I can't listen to the first episode of our podcast now. It's really awkward, like to go back to it. So I feel your pain there, you know.
It's the thing. So how you been? Everything's been going up and up for you guys since you came on last time?
Yeah, I mean, actually, when the last time I spoke to you guys, we'd really just started. We'd only had like 2 episodes under our belt, and you were like the first show to take us on. But yeah, things have been going great. We've partnered up with botchamania.com, where our podcast is appearing on that website, and also
all things bright and beautiful.
Next day, shut up.
And over the guys inside of the ropes, the show over in Glasgow as well have also partnered up with us. So we've gotten to meet some nice guys through this, and also Ahmed Johnson did an intro for our podcast. So you know, things are going good.
Oh right. Well, I'll hand you over now to Nixy. What are you singing? Nixy, why are you singing?
Creatures. What?
Why are you singing?
You keep dropping out, so I don't know if you're there or not.
Nixie, this is Kevin. You two are going to know each other so well because now this is the interview when I hand it over to Nixie, Kev, unfortunately, because Nixie knows Nixie's love of her life and her absolute diamond is everything to do with the Attitude Era. And she's been dying.
That's good.
She's been asking me on a daily basis to have you guys have you guys back. And so this is her crowning moment. So I'm going to hand you over to Nixie and let you two have a nice romantic chat.
I have.
No
yes,
pressure.
Go on. You two have a go.
This suddenly comes from nowhere.
Nixie, you've been planning this for days. Don't you dare do that to me now.
Have I?
Wait, I told you days ago to you doing this interview. This is the one you did. Since you did last Friday.
No.
I am putting you on the spot because you deserve to be put on the spot. You cannot get an easy night.
Do I?
Yeah.
I thought it was my birthday night. I thought I deserved an easy night, especially after having Harvey Dale last week. I thought I was getting like a nice little, rebate.
Right. Anyway, so I mean, well, I'll do something then. And then when you decide to open your mouth and have a nice night, then Nixie, then please let me know.
I am opening my mouth. I'm talking now.
Right. Well, there we go. Right, Nixie, have you got anything you would like to ask our very special guest at this moment?
Well, we've had a few laughs over Facebook anyway, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
So
what did I say last week? What was I watching? Oh, I've got to go and look at that. There's something I was watching. It doesn't get any better than that was right. Oh, Hebner versus Nick Patrick.
Yes, Invasion. Unbelievable. Those two, my God, those guys talk about a 5-star clinic. Those guys put on an Invasion. Yeah, amazing.
It was hilarious. Where exactly are you at the minute in podcasts?
We just yesterday released our latest episode. It was Rock Bottom 1998. So we're literally just the next episode will be starting 1999. So will be doing the Royal Rumble, and obviously
Darkness.
Yes, Ministry of Darkness, people getting crucified, Hell in a Cell matches, all kinds of really. 1999 is really, really weird in WWF, and I don't know. That's why I started watching as a kid, and I don't think I remembered how weird it was. But I was watching an episode of Raw the other day from 1999, and the Undertaker slits his wrists and makes Midian drink the blood on TV. Really? So yeah, I know it's. I know.
I don't know anything about this.
I know. Well, that's how Midian was put into the Ministry of Darkness. Undertaker slit his wrists on the stage, and then Midian drank the blood and became a member of the Ministry of Darkness. So there's
years later became naked Midian.
Exactly. Obviously, the blood wore off, and he decided to take his pants off.
He went a bit crazy. I'm going to have to look that up. I don't know anything about that. I mean, all right, I'm still sort of mid-2000. I'm about August 2001, so I'm not exactly going to jump back to 1999 at the minute. But I'm going to have to look that up. I know nothing about it. Yeah, 1999 was weird. Kidnappings, sacrifices.
Well, in the episode we just did, Steve Austin got crucified by The Undertaker, and then the next night, The Undertaker tried to embalm him while he was still alive. So they do kind of they took things a lot more seriously back in the Attitude Era. Like now, if someone has a disagreement, they'll have a match. But back then, if you had a disagreement, you try and embalm someone or crucify them. So obviously, 1999 is serious business.
Or set them on fire. That was another one.
Set them on fire, which happened to Kane quite a few times. Yeah. Of course, the one problem with where we are at the moment is Jim Ross has just left commentary, and we've got Michael Cole instead. And he's not very good. To go from Jim Ross to Michael Cole is a bit of a shock to the system.
Yeah, I mean, well, we're not going to have JR anymore. He had his Bell's palsy about that time. I don't think he comes back till WrestleMania, from what I remember.
Yeah, he comes back in the main event at WrestleMania, which is cool that they brought him back for to see Austin have his big match with The Rock. Me and Adam actually saw JR in London doing his spoken word tour a couple of weeks ago, and he actually said that he had that attack of Bell's palsy in '98. It was actually when they were doing that British pay-per-view, Capital Carnage. It was actually live on pay-per-view. He actually had Bell's palsy, but he still called the entire show, which I thought was pretty amazing. It
is, yeah. I mean, I think he said at WrestleMania he come out still holding his face up, from what I remember.
Yeah, he had to hold his face to so he could move his mouth to speak. Like, I know it was really like, obviously everyone's probably talked about it to death, but JR supposedly retiring this last week was really kind of shocking news, I thought.
Fired.
Okay, we're officially all calling it fired then.
Yeah, fired.
It's a nice way of saying he was fired, basically, because basically they're blaming him
for Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, me and Nixy are going to talk about this later.
Yeah. Well, I suppose you can just be resting in knowledge that I think everyone every fan, I think, is pretty much outraged about that.
Thing. Yeah, he's still there, Kev. Yeah.
Yep.
Nixie's just disappeared. Its internet goes down every so often. It's one of the pitfalls of house internet.
Yes.
I mean, but you're exactly right. I think when you look back at all the stuff that happened in '99 with the WWF and the barriers that they had, I don't think they had any barriers in '99. I just think
and early '99 as well, I think, was the time when Vince Russo, as the writer, he had the most control. I think from like Survivor Series 1998, it's pretty accepted that Russo was very much like almost entirely in control, and he had the most input out of all the writers. So you got it. Just it's cool that it's unpredictable, but it gets really kind of weird and crazy at times in 1999. It's hard to keep up sometimes. Everyone turning face and heel, backwards and forwards.
I think one of the things in that era was like, you had somebody disappear from WWF and they went to WCW, or they went the other way.
Yeah.
Sometimes, because you didn't have the 60-day clause in them days, did you?
Exactly. And also, people weren't on Twitter every 5 minutes.
No, it was a complete surprise who you saw. You just looked and said, who's jumping this week and stuff.
Yeah, I remember, I mean, I really do miss that, back in the, I remember obviously watching as a kid on Sky Sports, 3 on a Friday, it would be completely fresh, but I can't help myself. I've got internet all day long. I'm just going to read spoilers or read rumors and stuff like that. So I do kind of miss one thing about that era. It's just not knowing.
Well, me and Nixy got in contact with guys on Facebook, RW Merchandise, and they've been given the whole years of Raws and SmackDowns, and you can buy
nice.
That's where I've got 2001 from.
Yeah, we both have. We got them, and he can do 97, 98, 99, and he's done all the WCWs, WWF, and everything. And you just buy him the great stuff to watch. And I've just started watching them again, and I look back and I'm going, is this really over 12 years ago now?
Yeah, and it's actually crazy to think though how much it's changed. I mean, everything from not obviously just the style of wrestling and the wrestlers, but like the shows look completely different. I mean, they I mean the way they light the crowd, the way it's presented. I suppose again nostalgia.
You're engaged in it.
Yeah, because you're not talking about the WWE app every 5 minutes. That's kind of refreshing as well. But yeah, I think like a lot of the way they talk about the Attitude Era, they kind of just like make it out like it was just a couple of random moments and fun matches that happened a few years ago. But it's actually, if you go back and you watch those full episodes of Raw, they're really, really good, like just really good television. The shows were like, everyone had a storyline, like they would really keep you hooked. They would do something at the start of the show and you had to stay, all the way till the end because they didn't want you to switch over to Nitro. They had to keep your attention. Whereas now half the time, I think they actually want you to just, check the other channel or check Twitter or check the app instead of watching the show.
I think we spoke about that before. I think that's their biggest failing at the minute, is that everything's so centered around one or two top titles that a lot of other stuff's lost its prestige. So whereas before we could go into it and be really interested, so like SummerSlam, for example, 2000, you were interested in it. WrestleMania 17, which I always talk about, which he still hasn't finished watching.
You need to watch that. Good Lord, man.
Don't give me grief for WrestleMania 17. Stop it. Stop.
You're not going to live it down until you've seen it, all right?
Three words. Gimmick Battle Royal.
Yes.
You need to see that.
All right.
Gobbledygook. Oh, man, that is amazing.
Dean, how do you not want to see Jim Cornette and Michael Hayes wrestle in front of 70,000 people at WrestleMania? How do you not want to see that, I
didn't know, to tell you the truth. I couldn't tell you, absolutely God, now, when it comes to WrestleMania 17, if you just, I know Triple H and Undertaker's there, and I know The Rock and Austin's there, but I can't name another match. I don't know about the other matches yet. And call me cynical, call me stupid, and call me I should watch it. I know I have to watch this WrestleMania.
Well, that's the first step. That's the first step, knowing you have to watch it.
It's bugged. It's one of these things that's bugging me. It's that, and you sit down and I'm going, one day I have got fun. I'm going to clear everything I've got for 4 hours. I'm going to lock a door and I'm just going to sit there and I am not leaving this room until I have watched WrestleMania 17. And I have promised myself so much this, and I still got to.
No, I mean, like with that, you wanted to see everything. It wasn't just. Am I even on?
Yeah, you are. Yeah, go on, carry on.
No.
What's up?
I'll start singing All Things Bright and Beautiful again.
No, you're there. Don't worry.
I'm there.
Yeah. You don't worry about it.
I can't hear you. If you're talking, you're all silent. You just keep dropping out for a few seconds.
Well, then it's your Skype. It's not mine.
Yeah, it's mine. Like with that, you just you wanted to see everything. You didn't just like at the minute. There's so much prestige. So like this year, it was like Rock and Cena.
Yeah.
Which Mike can tell you. Webby can tell you. I fell asleep last year. I was asleep on his floor. I think all of that match.
I don't know. Maybe it's like that. They have like. Maybe they have too many like titles, or I always still feel the fact that they've got, the shows that Raw and SmackDown's like combined now, but they still have 2 world belts. So it seems like there's a lot of guys who really just don't get a chance really to shine or get on TV. So if that happens, then you just don't get enough storylines to keep you really invested. That being said, I think since WrestleMania, WWE I think has been doing really well. I think they've put out some really good shows. I thought SummerSlam this year was awesome. I'm really looking forward to Night of Champions tonight.
I know half the matches. I still don't really. I think the one thing I've said they've really picked up on the women's, but start dropping it to the likes of the Bella Twins and like all the idiots from Total Divas, bar Natalia, I would start getting really offended by that, because they've just suddenly gone in this direction. They've got someone in AJ Lee who can actually do something good, and they're not.
I have to say,
drop it now would just be like, what's the point?
Well, I mean, see, what I think is great is the fact that if you have someone like AJ on the main roster at the moment, and I think she's phenomenal, but they've got some divas in NXT at the moment who are absolutely fantastic. Obviously, Paige is amazing. Emma as well. Summer Rae. They've got like really, really good like female wrestlers. It's nice to see that, because they've been so bad for so long, the women's division. I think it's nice to see that it might be actually on the horizon. It might get really, really good again.
Because they were sort of picking like catalogue models, which I hate. There's no point. You've got a whole army of proper women out there that can do their jobs. There's loads on the British scene, and you're just sort of looking at it going, what are you picking this lot for? You wouldn't pick male models. Why are you picking them? It really eats at my brain.
I think they may have learned their lesson there in the fact that they had all those women like that as their main female roster for so long, but then like I remember like 2 years ago, basically like every single female in the company basically left. Like Kelly left, and then Candice Michelle left, and all these kind of cover girls who they had who weren't really, I don't know, 100% committed to wrestling, all just kind of disappeared. I don't think they'll get that with people like Paige somehow, and people like
they
AJ.
want to be there.
I think they want to be wrestlers as opposed to, wanting to use it as a platform to be something else.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, you go back to Attitude Era and look how many good women were there then, and it just sort of seems a shame that they can't, like, those kind of women can't appreciate those kind of women.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I suppose you can only really be hopeful, I suppose, with just kind of the direction that they're going. I think AJ the last couple of weeks, the promos she's been doing on Raw have been absolutely awesome. Where she was just basically cutting a shoot promo on all the female wrestlers who were in the ring. I thought that was absolutely brilliant. It was really cool just to see a female actually get a chance to have a big talking segment like that. It's really cool.
Yeah. I kind of missed what you said there for a minute.
No, I heard it. He was doing all right. Don't worry. Come on, Nick. Carry on.
I know. I missed what you said because I glitched.
See what I mean?
Yeah, it's my Skype, my internet, and my Skype sucks. Oh. So I mean, you've got 99, but obviously there's one big thing in 99. What is it? Over the Edge 99.
Yeah.
That's
we've actually, I think. We kind of like just tried to ignore it at the start when we started, knowing that it was coming. But I think the closer we're getting to it, more and more people are asking about it and stuff like that. And I mean, I think the way it is that we're not going to review the pay-per-view like as a normal episode, because that would just be, one, it'd be tasteless. Two, it would be weird, and it would just be wrong, I think. But we're not going to just pretend that it was an incident that didn't, happen, obviously, with the tragedy with Owen Hart. So we're definitely going to discuss that. But it is kind of, it's really sad because, I mean, the last episode we did, it was like Owen was wrestling Steve Blackman in front of like a Canadian crowd, and he got a big hero's reception. It was just kind of like, it was a bit sad. Then I looked on Twitter and everyone starts asking about, Over the Edge and things like that. And it's kind of, it's always... It's a tragedy. I don't think the wrestling world ever really got over it.
No.
What happened there?
I think there's always that debate of should they have stopped, should they not have stopped, and I would think you're going to sort of maybe discuss that a bit.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that's one of the main things which I think people would like to hear discussed.
Yeah.
It would be really interesting to hear Billy, who's on the show, who's never seen anything from the Attitude Era before the podcast. It'd be interesting to see what he makes of the whole situation, because it's kind of hard, I suppose, for me to think about it too much or to be objective about it, because I've just read so many interviews with people's opinions and heard so many people's opinions that I'm not even sure what I think about it anymore, to be honest. It'll be interesting to hear what he has to say about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's have you seen it all the way through before?
No, I've seen the clip on YouTube. I remember I saw the main event as well at one point, but I've never watched the whole pay-per-view through. I mean, they didn't release it commercially, obviously, but I mean, the fact that the show went on for nearly an hour after it happened, I mean, it's just horrible to think that people went out there and tried to entertain fans, and fans tried to pretend what happened didn't just happen and tried to go along with it. It's just really, really strange.
Yeah, I mean, it's if you watch it, I mean, I can see why they would carry on, Because I mean,
what
I think
understanding is that they had to go on because of like pay-per-view companies. They could have gotten sued or something like that. But I don't know if there's anything to that, if that's true or
I
not.
thought it was Vince's decision to carry on. I mean, I don't know, but I mean, you look at it from Owen's perspective, knowing that he was a lover of the business. I think he would have. I don't know. It's hard to say, but if you've never seen it all the way through and you're going to watch it all the way through, it's all well and good until you get up to that Godfather interview.
Yeah.
And there's people that say if you listen hard, you can actually hear him fall. That I've read. I've never been able to hear that. But after that, I mean, Jeff Jarrett comes out, and Jeff Jarrett's
I've seen
just
that
like
Jeff
a
Jarrett
wreck.
promo, and he's tears in his eyes, kind of, and he still tries to, do the promo for the match. It's just,
and
it's real. It's real hard to watch.
About it actually. After that, you have just after that, I think that they announced he's died, and it's horrible after that. 'Cause literally every wrestler just looks like horrible. It's really hard to see if you've never seen it. It's probably one of the hardest ones. I mean, that, and I think something like the September the 11th episode after that, and maybe Eddie Guerrero's death, and then Owen's death episode as well. They're all on par with very hard episodes of WWF to watch.
Yeah, definitely.
I will never watch it again.
I mean, I remember I had someone tweet me a while back, and they were like, "Are you going to review Over the Edge 1999?" And I was like, "No, we're probably not going to review it. That would just be strange." And the guy replied, goes, "Yeah, I know, the tragedy happened, but the WWF title changed that night. It was an important event." And at that point, I'm just kind of like, "All right, you can take wrestling as serious as you want to, but there comes a point where I think a tragedy is more important than a show." And I think that they really kind of hit that there at that event. It's so tragic what happened. It's horrible to think about. Like, and it's kind of hard to put yourself in the shoes of all the people who were there, or the guys who were wrestling that night. Like to actually go on and continue. It's very difficult. It's a horrible thing to think about.
Yeah, I don't like remembering it, because I mean, even though I watched it years, I mean, you're talking, I watched this like 10 years after it actually happened.
Yeah.
I still watch it and I get affected by it. And I mean, maybe that's a woman thing, but yeah.
I think it's like, in terms of like something on camera, I don't think it's ever been like, it's easy, like the most like shocking, tragic thing that's ever happened. It's really sad. I kind of don't want to talk about it anymore now. It's really getting me depressed.
No, is it? Yeah. Is it?
Here's a question. I've got a question for you, Kev. One of our members in our chat room, a Warrior One, Chris Hillman, has sent a message about you guys and everything. What is the one moment during the Attitude Era that you say that you remember that being for the Attitude Era?
As in
one moment, like Austin with the beer truck or something like that. If you had one moment from the whole of the Attitude Era to represent it, what would it be?
Okay, I would have to say, I know this might be a bit of a weird one, but do you know when The Undertaker tried to marry Stephanie McMahon in 1999?
Yeah.
He holds the Black Wedding. So you've got this poor innocent girl who's been put out on a cross, and Undertaker is going to marry her, and Paul Bearer is reading out the horrible, twisted ceremony. And then Steve Austin comes out and clatters the bejesus out of like 10 guys, beats them all up with a chair. And then, McMahon comes out and hugs Stephanie. He's like, "Thank you, Steve. You saved my daughter, even though I've been a monster to you." That for me really just sums up that kind of what I loved most about the Attitude Era, was just this kind of, first of all, just the insanely weird storyline of a man trying to marry Vince's daughter, against his will live on TV. And then you've got Steve Austin coming out, the crowd just exploding and just, kicking ass and beating everyone up. That for me, that's like my personal kind of moment that sums up the Attitude Era, in a microcosm.
What's yours, Nix?
I'm sorry, you can't bring the beer truck into it, when every time I see the beer truck, I think of Kurt Angle and the milk truck. Just outdoing that whole moment.
Am I the only one who hopes Daniel Bryan comes out in a soy milk truck and drenches the new corporation?
He's not a vegetarian no more, is he?
No, he's not a vegan anymore, no.
Oh, that's true, actually.
Because he had the steak on... He did the steak on Raw, didn't he? And
he did, yeah.
So...
he said apparently he was making him ill. something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the first time in years he's eaten meat.
Yeah, he developed a soy intolerance, which is kind of sad. But there you go.
Poor old Daniel.
Original beer truck is still awesome, though. You can't beat the original beer truck. That's absolutely hilarious. People always forget that The Rock was in there. They always just think he did it to Vince and Shane, but The Rock was in there as well, which I think is what made it so perfect.
I think with you on about the Attitude Era, and I know Nixy will not agree with me with this one, is like, at that time, I mean, you mentioned the Sky Sports thing on a Friday night. You had WCW on at 8 o'clock till 10, and then we had Raw from 10 till 12.
And the ECW used to be on Bravo as well.
It did.
Man.
And so we were, that Friday night in my house was wrestling night. But after you watched Raw, after it, did you used to stay and watch it again 2 hours later when it was on?
No, I mean, I was only like 9 at the time, so I was pushing it, staying up that late anyway. But man, I remember always having trouble sleeping after I would watch Raw on a Friday because I just be, So particularly if they ever did anything to Mankind, because he was my favorite. If he ever got screwed over, I would be incredibly annoyed and wouldn't be able to sleep the night after.
Right, I'm gonna do a 1-question answer thing with you two because I know you two do that. Right, I'm gonna mention some stars and some groups from that era, and I want you to say, and just come the first thing that comes into your head. Kev goes first, then Nixy. Is that all right, Nix?
Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
First word. First one is The Brood.
Awesome music.
Bloodbath.
Right. The Oddities.
Testing to watch. A chore.
Luna Vashon, because I loved her. I think she was
Luna's
brilliant.
awesome. Definitely, yeah, definitely.
Edge and Christian.
Oh man, hilarious, entertaining, amazing in the ring.
Sorry, repeat that one because a certain someone in the chat room messaged me.
Yeah.
Oh, 5-second pose. And then glasses and TLC.
Right. Triple H.
Oh man, 20-minute promos at the start of Raw.
He always sounded as though he was always having a shit on the bog. Like
too big for of a wife.
I'm gonna
talk about absolutely nothing.
It's true. He did. He sounded as though he was having a shit.
That's what I was. Yeah.
I'll tell you a funny story about Triple H. You know the way in Raw in 2000, the McMahon-Helmsley era, Triple H used to always have his big promos at the start of nearly every show. I was watching Raw, it was like some Friday night or whatever, and Triple H was in the ring to start off. My mother wanted me to clean my room or do the dishes or whatever, and she came in 3 times. I was like, "Mom, Raw's on. I can't go," or whatever. She goes, "Oh, come on. You know yourself, every single week it's just this lad talking for 20 minutes before anything happens." My mother had actually just pieced together Triple H just from walking in and out of the room over the year. It was amazing.
Right, more fun names. Kane.
Adam's favorite wrestler on the podcast. He's Adam's favorite.
Oh, I need to talk to Adam. You have to get Adam to friend me, and we can just have Kane. We can have Kane nerdness.
Oh dear, no.
Could you get him to friend me? Please get him to friend me.
Right, let's see.
Because I've never met another person who loves Kane like me. I want to meet another freak.
Right.
Oh, Kane's awesome. Kane's awesome.
Stephanie McMahon.
Oh man, it's hard because she changes. She changes so much over the course of the
physically and personality-wise.
Right.
Little princess certainly has grown," said Chris Jericho.
Oh yeah, let the boobies hit the floor was what Jericho said about her. I'll tell you one thing about Stephanie during the Attitude Era. I remember being proper. Everyone turned heel and face back and forth. But I honestly, because I remember watching Stephanie's wedding with Test and all that and feeling so bad for her when I was a kid. But when she actually turned heel on Vince and joined Triple H, I was legitimately more shocked than I'd ever been at the time. So Stephanie shocked me the most when I was a kid.
Right. This one's from Webby in our chat room. Benoit.
What can you say about Benoit? I thought he was an amazing wrestler, but what happened was a tragedy, and you'll never know what happened there. That's it, really.
Okay. Right.
You know what I remember most of him? Is his rivalry with Chris Jericho. That time, I don't know if it was a ladder match or if it was just a Raw or SmackDown. He actually turned Chris Jericho pink and knocked him out. I just remember this.
Yeah, that was up
face
to
pre-show.
Rumble 2001. Those two guys feuded up until, and they absolutely bet the shit out of each other. It
Yeah.
was scary at times. Yeah.
Here's one for you.
Yeah.
Ivory.
Oh, Ivory was awesome. I thought Ivory was brilliant.
Right.
I loved Ivory in The Right to Censor as well, actually.
Nixy.
The Right to Censor were legitimately awesome in their own way.
Yeah.
No,
Even
definitely.
though-
I hated them. I hated them as a kid, but I was meant to hate them as a kid. So I mean,
Yeah.
that was the whole thing. And they actually, I mean, they used The Right to Censor to clean up the TV program and actually, get out of hot water with a lot of the sponsors and stuff like that. So it actually was really, really smart what they did with them.
There's
Right.
two things, right? At Rebellion, they come over and moaned about page 3. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I remember that actually. Yeah, Stephen Richards coming out with Ivory talking about that. Yeah.
And the Sun. And you know what the funny thing is? WWE have kind of become the Right to Censor.
Well, yeah, I think if The Right to Censor appeared today, they wouldn't have much to do. They wouldn't really be
No.
on TV much.
They'd be
Like
really bored.
they would show up during Brock Lesnar matches and go, "Don't you think you're taking it a bit too far there?" And then that'll be it. That would all they would do now.
Yeah.
Right. Other ones. I forgot the bloody names now. Oh yeah, the Mean Street Posse.
Fucking love the Mean Street Posse.
Oh,
Absolutely
God.
love them. They talk about like. They did an interview. Pete Gas did an interview with the guys over at Inside the Ropes,
Yeah.
and they're like really just like such like they really like fell into it, and just Shane McMahon being their actual real life friends. But I thought they were entertaining as hell. Really awesome guys. Didn't take themselves too seriously.
British Bulldog.
British Bulldog was probably a bit before my time, really. I mean, I only started watching wrestling in 98, so I never got to see British Bulldog in his kind of glory years. The British Bulldog I saw in late 99 was a shell of his former self, and I think most fans would agree. I think but going back now, having watched his matches with Bret and whatnot in the early 90s, he was amazing back then. Though he was incredible.
Right. What else can I say? Molly Holly. There you go.
Hardcore
Molly.
champion.
Oh yeah, somebody's just come up with one.
I forgot about that.
Sorry.
Molly Holly was great. I loved the idea that they turned the Hollies into like a big family. They were really entertaining. Love Crash as well.
Yeah. Oh, Gilberg.
Gilberg, you can't be next, but you could be first.
Gilberg.
I love Gilberg.
He's on the alumni, isn't he? I think.
Yeah, no, Gilberg is we said on the podcast recently, because Gilberg debuts at Survivor Series 98, and we just kind of said, for a guy who looks like Gilberg, he's 5 foot whatever, like 100 pounds, and to think in 2003 he worked a program with Goldberg and The Rock, he did pretty well for himself.
Yeah. And a couple more for myself. What is it I've got in here? Terry. Oh, the whole Diva section in the Yetsudia. What do you think? Oh, Terry Runnels and Lita and everything like that.
In 98, 99, the Divas division is like really horrible because there's not even proper female wrestlers. It's just
Sable.
It's just Sable
Yeah.
and like the really lecherous, creepy fans and like awkward storylines and stuff. But once the year 2000 comes around and Lita and Trish, kind of rise to the forefront, I think it's
China.
incredibly, China as well. It becomes incredibly entertaining, the Divas division. So I say in Attitude Era Divas division, it was like 50% awful, 50% amazing.
The New Age Outlaws.
This is weird. I might get a lot of heat for saying this now, but over the course of the podcast, I've kind of grown to not like the New Age Outlaws as much as I originally did. I think New Age Outlaws for me is nostalgia, to be honest. I don't think they actually were as good as I thought they were originally, but definitely nostalgia.
I used to love them, but they
You do. I'll tell you a funny story about that. When I was 10 and I started watching, I took a marker pen because I've got this big cupboard in my wall, and I literally wrote the entire blurb, the entire speech of Road Dogg and Billy Gunn on the and if you look, I've got shelves there now, but if you look, you can probably still see it, not knowing what the end line really meant. And my mum went mad.
I had a DX Suck It hockey top when I was 9 years old. And in retrospect, I think my parents should probably be reported to child services for letting me walk around wearing that. I mean, that was dodgy. I think New Age Outlaws, I mean, they're entertaining as hell, but I would just say sit down and watch like 6 New Age Outlaws matches in a row, and you might get a little bit tired of them.
Yeah. I remember, I mean, everybody knows with Nixy and everything, I used to work for a holiday company that did with kids from age 7 to 16, 17 years old. And in 2001, I became this character called, I became Deano, what everybody was saying with Deano, and I was going crazy. And I had a D Generation X t-shirt that said 2 words, suck it, on the back. And I wore it at this charity show, and I got so much stick for this talent show for these little kids. On one side, you had these little girls singing Atomic Kitten and Whole Again and everything like that, and we had about 6 or 7 of that. And after every single act that went on, and I went, if you think that these are the best Atomic Kitten impersonators, give me a hell yeah. And the whole kids were going, hell yeah. And the teachers were like in the back going, he's dead. He's so dead. And I'm going, if you think Deano is a cool instructor, give me a hell yeah. And every kid, and I had kids chanting down, going on zip wires, chanting, can you dig it, sucker? And everything going on me. But for me, I think
why the Attitude Era was so successful is that Vince McMahon figured out that kids love to swear, and he just marketed it towards.
If you give a kid a chance to be risque, they'll do it. I think The Miz tells a great story. I don't know whether it's the Stone Cold DVD or it's the Attitude Era DVD, when he says he was in high school and he said, I was watching it every week, and he says, and the teacher said to him, Mike Mizmaski, whatever his name, he said, were you going to come and write something on the board? And he went, if you think I should go up on the board, give me a hell yeah. And he went, get to the principal's office now. And he went, what have I done?
I remember the influence of the Attitude Era in school. Like, I remember when I was like maybe 8 or 9 years old in school, there was some kid got pushed down in the schoolyard, and he went crying to the teacher, and the teacher said, what happened? And he goes, he pushed me straight to hell. Like, Jim Ross was calling this schoolyard push. So yeah, I think we were all fans of repeating what we heard on TV back then.
There's one kid, I've got to mention this because this was an absolute dream, and if people don't like it, fine. I've got to mention this kid's name. His name is Steven Samuels was his name, and he was about 13 years old at the time, and he'll be in his 20s now, and he was deaf, and I know he won't be listening, but this is an absolute dream. He taught me how to say, oh, you didn't know, your ass better call somebody, in deaf language. And I've never, in sign language, sorry, yeah, I do apologize that. I've never, ever laughed so hard in my life because he could just feel the vibrations of the song. But as soon as you started it, he was going, oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody. And I'm like, you've got to teach me that so bad. So I was...
That's amazing.
It was amazing. It just did literally and everything. I know. So the kid was an absolute dream, and I'll never forget him. And just to teach me that, I was just like, wow. Rubbish story, but I just thought because it was Attitude Era and stuff.
Not a rubbish story.
Yeah, no, that's cool, man. That's cool.
Everybody's got the Attitude Era, and we all hold it so close to our hearts, and we all remember exactly the funny stories and the things. I remember going to my girlfriend saying, "What do you want from the restaurant?" And she goes, "Well, I like this," and all of a sudden I'm going, "It doesn't matter what you want." All these things that happened that people just recited. I mean, schoolyards must have been the best time of their lives for when he was out there. Because
man, it was
risky
the best.
and stuff. But anyway, I'll go to the big four. I'll go to the big players now for the mentions. The Rock.
Absolutely, possibly the most consistently entertaining guy during the Attitude Era. Never had a bad match. Never had a bad promo.
Right. Okay. What do you think was his best moment then?
I'd say probably. I would say his real best moment would be just after Backlash 1999, because he leaves the corporation, becomes a face and whatnot, and it just the fact that he'd been so entertaining, he was a heel for so long. The fact that everyone just finally got a chance to cheer for the guy properly and not feel weird about it and get to sing along with his catchphrases. So I'd say summer 99, it was just The Rock really coming into his own and just being that entertaining. I think that was probably his best period of time.
Okay, right. The Undertaker.
The Undertaker, man, he's weird as hell in the Attitude Era. I mean, all right. I'll tell you one thing the Undertaker reminds me of in the Attitude Era, which is there is an episode of Raw that ends with the Undertaker tries to put Austin on his crucifix again. Austin reverses it and puts the Undertaker on the crucifix, and it gets raised up to the ceiling. And the Undertaker is there in the middle of the 30 feet above the ring in this crucifix. His eyes roll to the back of his head, and he's screaming in tongues, going la do la 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 la. So as a kid, I'd say the Undertaker scared me so goddamn much. So yeah, one word for the Undertaker in the Attitude Era is scary, scary and weird.
He had so many changes in his character. I mean,
yeah, so many tweaks. Yeah.
I mean, one minute he had Ministry of Darkness, then he came back as the bad man, and the badass.
He's a biker, yeah. He goes through a lot of changes in 1990.
Right, Nixy, we just said the Undertaker. So what's your take on the Undertaker in the Attitude Era? Oh, she's not listening. Nixy,
I am listening.
Right, Undertaker.
I am listening, but you're mute again, so I don't actually know what's going on.
I'm not muted.
I hear nothing. But...
Right, get her off. Obviously she's having problems with her Skype thing. I do apologise for that. Are you still there, Kev?
Yeah,
Kevin? Sorry, Kevin. I think Nixie's having so many things going with her blue thing.
Yeah, Skype sucked.
Right. So, Nixie, Undertaker.
He did so much, didn't he? I mean, you had his normal kind of Undertaker in 97, 98. Then he becomes Ministry Undertaker with that really jet black, pull tight, and that really pointed beard. And
he looks like a ghost.
He looks really strange. He does an interview where he's talking about Mankind and 1990 at Hell in a Cell, and you look at him and go, what that he like? Because, I mean, he's ginger. Now, and he's pale as well. I mean, he's tan now, but, like, he's white with this black head, these black eyebrows, look like a scouse brow now. And he just looks, he goes for all of that. Then he becomes biker, which always has people divided as to whether that was good or not.
At the time, it was cool, but it's aged really
And then
badly,
sort of towards Ruthless Aggression, he becomes kind of 97, 98 Taker again. And he has such a big journey.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say out of anyone in the Attitude Era, he changes the most over the course of that time.
I think when we look, here's another one. Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'll go for an obvious one.
Oh man, just I think no Stone Cold, no Attitude Era. That's basically it.
Thank you. Someone else agrees with me. Thank you.
I mean I think there's so many like things that made the Attitude Era successful, and I think it would have been still a really important period without Steve Austin, but it never would have been as widespread or as mainstream without Steve Austin. Like, at the end of the day, Steve Austin was why it was as popular as it was. That's what got everyone watching originally. So I think, I wouldn't say Austin's not like my personal favorite. I love Austin. He's not my favorite, but I'd say he's the reason why it was so successful.
I think he's the attitude, isn't he? He was the one who come along who had all the attitude. He was the one who sort of pushing Vince to his limits in the ring and backstage as well. It's no secret they didn't get along.
It's a shame that Hulk Hogan gets to have the era he was associated with called the Hulkamania era, but by all rights the Attitude Era could just as well be called the Stone Cold era, because I think he was as important to it as Hogan was to the 80s. So I think he's definitely the main guy in my mind.
So I mean. Now I'm going to ask you one about the storylines. What I think is the storyline of all storylines for the Attitude Era, Austin McMahon.
Definitely. Again, I mean, and you can argue, I suppose, what I said there about, Steve Austin, being the whole reason. But I mean, if Steve Austin didn't have Vince McMahon to feud with, he wouldn't have been as entertaining. It was an absolute perfect storm. Steve Austin and Vince McMahon is the greatest. I think it's the greatest rivalry ever, probably, in my mind.
They were funny. The thing is, it was funny, but you could take it seriously as well.
Yeah, it was like
it was funny.
There were times where like it just gets like it was really intense. I mean, I don't know if you guys know that image where Austin's in the corner and Bossman has the nightstick up against his throat and Vince is like leaning into the corner. He's right in his face and he's like spitting on him and all that. Really, really serious. But then cut to a few weeks later, you've got Vince training with Shane for the Royal Rumble, and it's that really funny kind of Rocky montage that they do, and it's hysterically funny. And could you imagine if they were like in the middle of the the John Cena CM Punk feud they were doing? They just randomly decided to do something really funny like that. No one would buy it. But back then, it worked because the guys were that talented that they could pull off doing something funny and then doing something really serious.
Amazing. The McMahon Helmsley era.
I remember at the time, like being really. That was like, I would have been like maybe 12 when that was happening. I remember just the whole time wishing that Steve Austin would come back and that, someone would, I didn't like Triple H as a kid because, I didn't like him because he was the bad guy. At the time, I just remember just like being really dejected that, Mankind had to retire when Cactus Jack lost to Hell in a Cell. So I remember just being really down a lot of that time. But looking back, that was probably one of the best years they ever had, like that 2000 year with that storyline. Just the matches and the pay-per-views are so good. Royal Rumble 2000 is just one of the best shows ever, I think, from that period.
Which one was the one when Taz made his debut?
That's Royal Rumble 2000, yeah.
Ah.
That's the one where Cactus Jack and Triple H have the street fight.
Oh,
and
that's
Cactus Jack gets pedigreed onto the thumbtacks at the end of it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Mick Foley DVD when he's talking about that?
Yeah, that's a hell of a DVD.
Yeah. I think
scary.
I think one of the best documentaries around that time was that Beyond the Mat, because they did it. It was around about 98, 99, wasn't it?
Yeah, they followed
Mick
Foley.
Yeah.
We're actually, the next pay-per-view we're going to cover is Royal Rumble 99, which has that I Quit match, obviously, between Mankind and The Rock.
Mankind.
With the, I don't know how many, I think it's 11 chair shots to the head he gets when he's handcuffed.
I think it's about that many. And even then, I don't actually think, there's part of me that always wonders whether it was actually Foley talking at that point, or whether they had like a voiceover do it, because it just, if you listen to it, it just doesn't sound like he's saying it then and there.
Oh yeah, no, it is a voiceover. The evil corporate team played the voiceover over the PA to screw over Mankind.
I don't know if that was storyline or not, but I wondered if it was just that.
Oh, you're wondering, yeah. It's true, actually. I think that's actually interesting. I've never thought of it like that way, I suppose, before. But I think everyone can agree that they were probably just happy the match ended when it did.
Yeah. He had the handcuffs on him and everything, didn't he? He was just sort of...
when he's taking chair shots to the back of the head, I remember even as a kid kind of going, okay, this is too much. And I was pretty bloodthirsty when I was watching wrestling as a kid. And I found that too hard to watch. I thought it was unsettling.
The reason why I mentioned that Beyond the Mat thing is because in that you see Mick watching it for the first time, and he remembered him saying, if he'd have done that, he says, because he had his kids at ringside and he'd never seen his kids' reactions, and he was shocked and he was ashamed, wasn't he? Because he was really shocked because of the thing that he did. Yeah,
and I mean, it's like, you ain't winning no Father of the Year awards after bringing your kids to see you get the shit knocked out of you by The Rock. Like, I was traumatized, and I was like, I was 10 or 11. I was a grown-ass man, basically. These are like 4 and 5-year-old children he's bringing to see this. That was the worst decision he's ever made in his life.
Did you see...
Besides going to TNA.
Yeah, we'll give him that one. Did you see the latest photographs of Val Venus over the last few weeks?
Oh,
those are those really shocking pictures. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit disappointed that Val is not the stud he once was.
Yeah. Certainly won't have girls going mad when he rips that towel off anymore.
Hello, ladies. Oh, it's hello, layers now, isn't it? It's
hello,
like,
bellies.
Sorry, ladies, is what you should say when he takes the towel off now.
I could never buy into that, to be honest. I've never been that sort of person to sort of drool over that kind of...
One thing about Val, which I didn't realize before we started doing the show. I always kind of had a soft spot for him. I thought he was entertaining, but he's a really great wrestler. Like really, really, really good wrestler. He was a lot more technically proficient than I originally gave him credit for. I think he's a hell of a guy in the ring.
Yeah.
You know what? Talking about him, he had really good storylines with Kai and Tai, didn't he? Really funny ones with Kai and Tai in about 99, didn't he? Do you remember that?
Well, it's I think any storyline where a guy threatens to chop off your penis with a samurai sword is always entertaining in my book. So definitely, I don't think anyone can hold that against Val.
There was
always had that
Go on,
That
sorry.
image of is it that samurai sword, and there's like a big sausage or something like that. I don't know. We're bringing it down. We're bringing the credibility down again.
Yeah. There was always like, could you imagine being in the room when you're coming up with these storylines? I mean, at that time there were like no limits, and seeing how raunchy and how evil you could get. When you look at the other side of what they do now, it's like that room then must have been one hell of a room. All these ideas that came out.
I wonder if it was easier to come up with ideas back then because they didn't have any kind of restrictions, or if it was harder because they had to do something shocking that was more shocking than the week before. I mean, I suppose the problem with Val was once you threaten to chop the guy's penis off, where do you go from there? I mean, you've really kind of peaked creatively then, I suppose.
It's so amazing time in wrestling, and everybody keeps saying bring it back, but I don't think it would work now because of the characters you had then, and there's just not characters now to pull it off, really.
It wouldn't work now because, I mean, you know, looking back fondly on this era, you know, kind of as we've been doing with the show, it's just the one thing that's just blatantly obvious is just that, you know, pop culture is different. You know, people are different. The world outside of wrestling has changed so much that this wouldn't really happen anymore. I mean, it's not the 90s anymore, sadly. And, you know, there's a reason why MTV is different or why comedy shows are different now. It's just, I think the world at large has changed, and that's really why you won't see the Attitude Era ever again.
No. We all look back on the DVDs, and through the wonders of YouTube, we can sit and watch it for hours and hours and reminisce.
Exactly. There's no shortage of source material.
No, it's everywhere. It's all over the place. How did you find the DVD, the Attitude Era DVD?
The actual DVD themselves, I thought the documentary was a bit boring. It was like, you know, 30 minutes, and they didn't really do anything they hadn't said before. But the extras and the matches that they selected are absolutely brilliant. I'm quite happy that I've got, you know, the Mean Street Posse versus Patterson and Briscoe on DVD now. I'm quite happy with that fact.
Oh, we forgot them too. Oh, how could you forget Patterson and Briscoe? How could you forget them?
Hardcore evening gown match.
Oh man, can't wait for that one.
You have seen that, right?
Right.
Yeah, I stayed up late to watch that as when I was like, you know, 12 or whatever. God, I imagine my parents walked down and saw me 2 a.m. watching 2 60-year-old men dressed up in drag wrestle around for a made-up belt. That would have been embarrassing.
It was one of them stupid things that defined it that you just couldn't get away with now.
I mean, I think the fact that it was basically a match that was put on solely probably to make Vince McMahon and a few writers laugh and no one else. It was basically it wasn't for the audience.
You got to give them credit for that.
Yeah, that's pretty ballsy.
Yeah, I think so. If you had to cut everything out, who would be the greatest male superstar of the Attitude Era? Apart from, well, you're obviously going to say Stone Cold. I forgot. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, I suppose outside of Stone Cold, I would have to say definitely Mick Foley. Because even though I think Austin was most successful and was kind of the most pivotal, I don't think anyone can argue that anyone gave more of themselves physically than Mick Foley in his various incarnations. I think Foley, every single match he puts on, he did something spectacular just to make the match seem more important, just to make the fans go home happy. So I think he was probably, you know, I'd say he's probably the most pivotal guys they had. Because, I mean, you know, if you even look at the TV ratings, Hell in a Cell was a really important moment for them. Without that big shock moment of Mankind falling off the cell, I mean, who's to say if they would have, you know, gotten over WCW in the ratings like they did? I mean, that was a really important moment. So definitely Foley needs credit, I think, there.
What's yours, Nixy?
I want to say Foley as well, I've got to be honest. I'm not going to say Kane. I'm tempted to say The Undertaker, but the fact is he wasn't as in the main sort of pictures, although he did have very good storylines, but Mick Foley does define it because he was taking risks, he was entertaining us, he was being edgy, and that's what it was about.
Right. Female superstar of the Attitude Era.
I'd probably have to say probably China. I mean, I know obviously Lita would probably be tied there for me as well, but I think because China was like the first female who was like in such an important role like that. I mean, she was in DX with Shawn Michaels and Triple H. I don't think people like actually realize how important that was, that there wasn't really a female who was in a position like that before then. She was kind of a trendsetter in that sense. But I think Lita, just in terms of an amazing wrestler,
that, like, I mean, Lita was the first wrestler I remember like having female friends as a kid who actually they like really got behind, like, and they really actually like she was their hero kind of. So I think Lita as well was probably just one of them, just amazing character, like great wrestler. Like she was cool as shit, you know, back in the day. All the girls wanted to be like her. All the guys thought she was amazing. So I think Lita definitely as well needs credit.
I wanted her t-shirts. I wanted her t-shirts. She used to have them t-shirts with like the little legs cut out for like the top, the middle's cut out, and like.
Oh yeah, I remember those. Yeah.
I always wanted those t-shirts. I always wanted to cut up my own t-shirts and just have ones like that. I'd probably China revolutionised it.
Definitely, yeah.
But at the same time, she started really becoming what she wasn't. When she started out, as this almost everybody still questions whether she's a woman at all, or whether she was at the start. She was something different, but then she started to lose the weight and slim down and become more like a diva in a way, and that kind of changes it a little bit for me. And then she obviously started becoming a victim of the celebrity status. Like, she started getting a bit more demanding, wouldn't do this, wouldn't do that, had the book coming out. And it changed it because she just started dropping it. I mean, Lita was great, and she's the only female member of the TLC club. Trish really did a lot for the division. Ivory was great. Jacqueline, you can't forget Jacqueline.
Yeah,
she was in a lot of the male storylines as well.
That's true, yeah. Although sadly some of them involved Mark Mero, so
yeah.
Mr. Mero. Right, and the last one, the tag teams. What was to be the tag team?
Oh man, that's hard. I'm gonna go with. They're not gonna show up on in our podcast series for a while, but the Dudleys are gonna be. You know, I think the Dudleys, because, you know, just in terms of guys coming over from ECW, more or less keeping the same kind of gimmick, but just tweaking it to make it WWF friendly, but still being awesome, and, you know, bringing us games of tables matches. I don't think we can ever forget the Dudleys for that. I think the most amazing tag team in the Attitude Era, in my mind.
And on that note, I've got to say thank you so much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure and great trip back in time. As always, as you did before, it's been an absolute pleasure to everyone, and I'll never forget tonight.
Can I just mention a quick event actually that we're doing?
You've got it. Cool. You've got it. You can plug away as much as you want, sir.
Cool. Well, we're actually doing much in the vein. You did a 24-hour marathon recently, but we're doing a 24-hour gaming marathon for a thing called Sick Kid Save Point. We're going to be playing Attitude Era wrestling games for 24 hours, the 12th and 13th of October. And we're raising money for Sick Kid Save Points, which they're raising money for the Children's Hospital in Edinburgh. So, you know, if we're going to be 24 hours playing N64 wrestling games, WWE 13. So if anyone wants to donate to the cause, and, you know, hopefully we won't go crazy over the course of the 24 hours. Have you guys got any tips for lasting 24 hours in a row?
Yeah, Monster Energy drinks. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I heard you shouldn't drink the Monster Energy drinks until like 2 hours or 3 hours in. You have to start off without them.
Oh, I didn't have a Monster Energy drink till about 7 hours in, because I was all right up until then, and then my wife gave me this monster pot of coffee, which everybody saw on Twitter, and that was a bit of a kick. And then a few hours later, about midday, which is about 11, 12 hours in, I had 3 cans of Monster, and they took me through the whole rest of the day. It was easy. It was easy, because I don't know what Nixy
Brilliant.
Is, but Monster Energy drinks.
That's the Deano diet. I'll be following that then.
Yeah, he was up a lot more hours than me. I had Lucozade, I think, and a lot of sugary stuff.
But
Lucozade is McDonald's cup.
And the one tip I've got is try and get as much sleep as you can the day before or a couple of days before, and then as much as you can possibly get, and then you won't miss it. And sometimes you can stay up 28, 29 hours easy. We were still buzzing after it finished. We were still buzzing after it finished.
Really?
I was like, I don't want to go to sleep. I'm still buzzing here. And I couldn't go to sleep.
It's going to be ironic that if it's going to be ironic if me, Billy, and Adam, in an attempt to raise money for sick children, ourselves become sick. But I suppose for a good cause. So, you know.
All the very, very best of that. Remember, guys, just justgiving.com/Attitude Podcast.
Cheers, thanks guys.
No. And your Twitter account is at AE Podcast, yeah?
Yeah, that's it.
You've got facebook.com/the Attitude Era Podcast as well.
Yeah, we had a new episode just go up yesterday, which was Rock Band 98, so people can check that out. And yeah, thanks very much for having me on again, guys. It's always a pleasure to listen to British Wrestling Radio.
Thank you so much for coming on, and it's an absolute pleasure. And I think I've just made Nixy's birthday, just for having you on tonight. Because I think I've never heard her talk so much about a wrestling thing in my life. So, but I know she.
Well, that's got to count for something. Thanks so much for having me on, guys, and happy birthday once again.
All right, you take care. Bye bye.
All right, bye guys.
Bye bye. And there we go, the last of our guests.
You haven't heard Nixy do what?
Oh, well, don't worry about it. You're for some reason you're going to membership tonight, so it's just us two now. It's just us two if you're still there.
Just the two of us.
Yeah. Shut up, sing it. This is you. This is you that won't sing "Bear in the Big Blue House," but you're going all things bright and beautiful and singing leading just the two of us now. Everybody's heard you sing all things bright and beautiful, by the way. I mean,
that's all right.
For you.
It keeps having these moments basically where I talk, but then you probably hear me, but then you don't reply in my ear.
No.
So I just start entertaining myself, thinking it's gone down, and I start doing stupid things, and then you hear me.
Yeah. So I hope everyone's enjoyed tonight in the chat room. We're still going to go for a little bit because we've got our little bit to get out of now.
We have.
And then we're going to get right, we'll carry on. Right, first thing, the big thing of the week has to be Jim Ross.
It does.
That's to be the biggest thing of the week. What do you reckon? Honestly, goddamn?
It's what they're doing is softening the blow of saying that they've released him. I mean, it's got to be for him like the biggest kick in the balls ever.
Webby just said it perfectly in the chat room. Bullshit. Absolute fucking bullshit. To treat a guy that's done so much as WWE has done and then to say, oh, he's retiring. I would say earlier on today, I said it to Ross earlier, I said, I would love Jim Ross now to go to Ring of Honor and do his wrestling at their shows. Put Jim Ross at Ring of Honor, he would be fucking hell. Don't bother with TNA, because TNA at this moment, it just needs something, and I don't want Jim Ross to be associated with TNA at this time, because that's not fair on JR, because it'll ruin his legacy. Put him in Ring of Honor. Put him in Ring of Honor or something, but don't put him in TNA. Let him go somewhere where he can help everybody there, and just help them all and all that, but don't put him in TNA. All these people are going, oh, put him in TNA. Yeah, right, whatever. Yeah, we know the incident happened with Ric Flair. He should have done this, yes, but hindsight's a wonderful thing. Should have, would have, could have. You should have done it. Yeah, he could have done it this way. Could have done it this way. Yeah, Vince McMahon could have done this. Vince McMahon could have done that. Vince McMahon could have shut bleeding watch face so when she's trying to be in president-elect and all this shit. He could have not spent $60 million on her, but he did. Fuck off, Vince. What do you think? So what I mean, your thing on Nixy is just. What do you reckon really about it? It's fucking Jim Ross. How can you treat Jim Ross like that, eh?
Well, Vince has always wanted him gone. I mean, it's been no secret that he's not exactly his best fan. I think Vince has just finally got an excuse to do exactly what he's always wanted. But I do think there's going to be a lot more backlash than they want there to be, because there's a lot of people like us who can see through what's happened. And I think there's going to be, I mean, they're lucky they did it just after Canada, really, aren't they? It's a bit coincidental, that, I think.
Yeah.
Because Canadians would have gone mad.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't know why Vince hates him. The Sweet Chin Music, oh, fuck me, bleeding Leeds person. Why does Vince hate him, then?
Paradise.
Is it because of when he did the thing when he said, oh, look, JR, you've got your head up your ass? When he did that thing with the Ball's palsy and all that shit?
You know what? I wonder if Vince might actually be jealous that JR's a better commentator than him. It could be something to do with that. Like, Vince was on, I don't know when JR come into it, if Vince was on commentary or not at that point in time. But if Vince was, and suddenly JR comes in and all this guy's way better than you, and it's probably not feeding his ego, he's probably going, oh, I'll get rid of him in the future.
Yeah. If you had to sum up Jim Ross with one sentence for his commentary, what would it be? If you had to redo it again and you're just listening to him now and you go, yeah, that's Jim Ross. What would you have it for you?
I really don't know how to word that because I want to. The funny side of Jim Ross is that he has the most amazing stuff come out his mouth, yet his mouth only moves up and down. You know what I mean? Because of the Bell's palsy, it was something that really always intrigued me and my brother when we were kids. We'd watch it and not realising the Bell's palsy thing, go, what's wrong with his mouth? But
yeah, I mean, we've got all these catchphrases. We'll never hear again, slobber knocker.
Government mule.
Never beaten him like a scolded dog.
Yeah.
He's giving him a beat down like a government mule. He's stomping a mud hole in him. Oh my God! Oh my God! And the best one of the lot, Stone Cold. Nobody could do it like Jim. And the fact he had a great partner. I mean, look at the people who worked with Jim Ross. You had Jerry, you had Heyman, he had the coach. Whoever he's worked with he's made them better.
Yeah.
And Jim Ross, and he was the booker at the time. I'm not sure if I'm right with this. But he was the booker at the time for the Attitude Era. Is that right?
I'm
not sure he was hiring the talent around that time. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, please correct me if I'm definitely wrong. But Jim Ross and everything. Also this week, we had all over the newspapers, especially The Sun, the ICW brawl in their hometown thing in Maryhill. It was crazy. I mean, these guys went in a Tesco's, and the Tesco's thought they were going to come out crazy with him. So, loved it to bits. And ICW looked like they're getting crazy. And Pixie's coming on Friday night, this Friday. Hold on, am I working? Hold on, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, I'm working. So next week will be Sunday. Next week will be Sunday night, unfortunately. Sorry about that, guys. Next week. No, Pixie, because literally we're just going to go through this and then we're going to disappear because literally we've done 3 hours now. I'm one up on Harvey Dale. Who needs Harvey Dale getting in? Enemy of the page, Harvey Dale.
Oh, no, I'm going to tell him that. That's it.
No, I'm only joking. We want to do it proper next week. So Pixie's coming on next Sunday, to do everything about ICW with all the stuff like next Sunday. And... oh shit! Sorry, Sunday's Feast Females. Right, do it earlier. We'll do another 8. We'll do it at like 8. Are you all right early Friday night?
Am I?
Yeah, for a quick hour and a half. 8:30 start.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm fine Sunday as well. I'm not working next Sunday either.
Well, Pixie, who I want on the show, is doing Feast. He can't come next Sunday because Feast Females is on. So there's no point in trying that. So we'll have it on Friday. Friday night, next show. There you go. Exclusive. Right. The One Direction death threats. All right. I will go this now. Right. This week, you wanted to know this, didn't you, Nix? Right.
I did.
Right. For those who don't know in this country, last weekend, one of the Direction dickheads, the 1DDs, he was playing in a charity football match and he got tackled by an Aston Villa player called Gabriel Abagahor. And he got twatted by him and he had to go off the pitch. He was injured. As he went off the pitch, he puked up his guts and was physically sick and everything like that. I went on Twitter and I went on this Gabby10, which is the account for Gabriel, and said, nice tackle, sunshine, you should have kicked his head in. Fair enough. I've got my opinion. That's my opinion. Over the next 2 days, I've had two death threats from girls, and I'm not going to call them women because they're schoolgirls, right? I've had schoolgirls sending me death threats because I've insulted One Direction, of all people. And I'm like, what the fuck? And for me, it's just absolutely stupid. The fact that these dicks, and I've just been sent death threats, and one of them said, you will die. When we find you, you will die. I am going to shoot you. You One Direction hater. I'm like, oh, and I just replied, well, it's before 8 o'clock, which is your bedtime, so go to bed. So, what can you do? I mean, I'm getting death threats from kids. I mean, should I report this to the police? Should I get them arrested? Chat room, should I get them arrested? Yes or no? Should I get these children arrested? I think I should. I really believe I should get these fuckers arrested. What do you reckon, Nix?
They're probably about 5 years old, aren't they?
I don't give a shit. I'll bleeding get them. Yeah, everybody's saying yes. Okay, right, I'll get these bastards arrested. Fucking other people can get arrested. Why can't I get that? Yeah. Oh, fucking. Oh, what about Miley Cyrus this week? Fuck me, Janet. See her new video? She's naked on a boat and a hammer ball. What the fuck and everything going off with that? But it's just usual thing. But it's just one of them things as always. It's absolutely crazy. And I mean, now I've done that, and wait till I get Nixy back in here, because Skype is going absolutely mental at this moment. But we're going to try and get her back in here as soon as I can, really. What can I say? Tonight has been the one of the nights I will always remember for a lot of things. And oh yeah, she was licking a hammer, for God's sake, in the video. What the fuck is that about? But what can you expect? It's just absolutely pandemonium, and one of them things that everybody's going to love forever. Tonight's been an amazing, amazing night. Are you there, Nix, now? No? Fair enough. She's a mixing. I've just seen a picture on British Wrestling Radio. It's on the Skype, and it's Harvey. Harvey changed my picture. I can't believe it. He's cheeky,
What?
Oh, you're there. Oh, nothing. Just talking about Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, it's just being a bit
Yeah, right. We'll finish in 5-10 minutes.
temperamental.
Right. You've done British Wrestling Radio now for the best part of 16, 17 months. Yeah. Since it's 18 months, because I hired you in March 2012. Yeah?
I have.
What's been your highlights over the last 18 months?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Go on.
I think when you finally got me to one of the Southside shows. And I did, you know what? I did really enjoy House of Pain Evo.
Cool. There you go. Anything else? I mean, over the last 2 years, I don't know what you think, but when I did this time 2 years ago, no, we're not doing Crossing the Line because I'm at Wembley Stadium. I've said it before earlier on tonight. I'm going to Wembley Stadium on the day of the Crossing the Line. I'm going to watch my Steelers take on the
Cross
Minnesota.
the Line?
Yeah, Cross the Line Southside show in Nottingham.
All right.
Yeah. It's 2 long years of this. I started this last year, and literally it was at this time I started the pre-show with an iPhone 4 at my side, which I put a cable into my laptop I'm using at this moment for music before this started. And for 45 minutes, I sat here going, what the fuck am I going to talk about? And then at midnight, you've heard it tonight and everything, and I started this little thing. And it's just grew. I never believed that 2 years later, I'd be looking in front of a packed chat room. I would have a wonderful co-host at my side. She's the best thing that's ever happened to wrestling in a million years. I don't give a shit what about other podcasts or wrestling shows. We got Nixy. And it's about time people really give Nixy the credit she deserves. Nixy deserves everything that she's done with this show. And I'm saying it because you're here now, because you deserve it. Last Friday, I was so proud of you. You will never know in a million years how proud I was. I was buzzing. Everybody's got a story when they first listen to us. Everybody's got a story. Whether it be me farting on air, the rants of Candy Crush, the rants over the red fucking phone box, the rants for the fucking bleeding black taxis, or the way that WWE's been treating us British fans for all these years. Whatever you've heard of us, and whatever, put us on Twitter. We've got 370 followers on Twitter. We've got nearly 800. We've nearly hit. We've got 867 likes. So we've got 1,000 people about interested in what we say and do. I didn't think we'd have one, and that was a gospel truth. And have you got anything you want to add to this lot, Nix?
Yeah, don't put all the credit on me when you deserve you deserve more yourself.
Bullshit. Absolute bullshit. I'm just this sad, bleeding 44-year-old. To the fact, I've got some thank yous to do before we go any further. They're not listening, but I know they'll be hearing spirit, and I know they'll be thinking of us, right? The thank yous I want to give at this moment is to Seamus Island, to Daniel Vendetta, an absolute 30-minute pipe bomb. I've got to give them guys a good mention. To Asa, to Ross, to Winters, to Pixie, to this young lady that's at the end of my headset.
To you.
Yeah, whatever.
You got to thank you as well.
To the first person who ever rang me asking for telling me about his wrestling organization, Ben Old. To every single person who's ever checked us out. To MJK for the pictures and everything he did for us. For Gavin Knotts for making us do it and all the things he's done. And I know he'll be listening in about as soon as we put it up on the arcade. We've now hit over 50 subscribers on YouTube. It is one of them things. This means the absolute world to me. And I've been thinking about this show for weeks, and I knew it was coming. For me to say British Wrestling Radio is 100 shows old is something I never dreamed in a million years would happen. And I know, and I didn't think Nixy could put up with me for 4 weeks. I really didn't. Remember month's trial? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I said, let's go for a month and see how you feel. So, Nixy, performance related now. How do you feel after your month's trial?
It's been a long month.
Yeah.
Been one hell of a long month.
I don't know what everybody's highlights were. If there's someone asked me this week, if you had one highlight of the whole of the 2 years, what would it be? And I've got two, but they're the same thing. And everybody knows what I'm going to say. And everybody knows for the mile. It's those 2 days where we went 24 hours. And we rocked. And we killed them all. And there's a little lad at this moment who's up in Cheshire who's not feeling the best at the moment. And he's at home with his mum and his dad. And I'm going to say something now. Hey, Callum, if you're going to listen in sunshine, listen to this. Get yourself better, son. Get yourself up good, because we're rooting for you. And I know I'm speaking for everybody in this room and everybody in this thing that's connected with BWR. Get yourself better, sunshine, and get yourself to the USA, because there's a lot of people rooting for you, and there's a lot of people that are hoping you get stronger every single day, my man. You hang in there, and you get yourself better, okay, my man? And I never say that because Callum's got to have an operation this week. And he's got it. And you stay in there, my man. You stay there. And loads of people that's out there that I haven't thanked yet. But they all know who they are. And I wish I could thank every single one of them. There's a lot of people who did a lot of things for everybody. Nixy, you've done more than enough. But you know, we had an argument this week, didn't we? Well, I had. Well, I thought he was pissed off with me big style, didn't I? Yeah. But we'll keep that quiet, because that is in the past, and I was having a downer of a day, and I shouldn't have been on anything to do with social media. There's for some people I've got to thank as well. There's Ross, there's Asa again. There's Peter Blackman, who's known as BWR Pete, who's an admin on our webpage on Facebook. There's also Robert Shade. I want to thank our affiliates, the Lockup Wrestling page. Some really great things. Nixy started doing blogs, but she's not doing everything else. But she's doing blogs on what's that page? GetRealWrestling.com.
Yes. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Couldn't remember it myself for a minute.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to do a piece on The Undertaker this week.
You did what? We've got. Hold on, we've got messages here. Hold on, excuse me a minute. Right. Hold on, where is she? I've got everything. Oh, we've got some message from Brit Wres chat and everything. Are you all right? You sound like you've got a snotty nose.
No, I'm fine. This keeps glitching out and my legs are hurting at the minute, to be honest.
Well, then, yeah, because 3.5 hours is a long time.
No, it's not that. I think it's because I had them down for too long. If I'm sitting up, I need to elevate my legs. It causes me pain, blah, blah, blah. Don't worry about it. MRI scan, by the way.
All right.
I get one of them on my knee now. Yes.
Yeah. You've had to tell Harvey Dale he's an enemy of the page, haven't you? I said I was joking. I said I was bleeding joking, you silly crap.
Stirring the shit. Stirring the shit.
No, still watching Derek. That was all. Oh, we had people saying thank you and everything. I've got to read some of these tweets out before we finish. I really have. I've just got to do it because the tweet's been going crazy. And look, there's a lot of everybody in our chat room. I'm going to do this now. We're doing it. Oh wow, we've got the Outside the Ropes guys in our chat room. Welcome, guys. You're the Outside the Ropes do an awesome awesome show from Northern Ireland, or I think it's Northern Ireland. Don't want to be upset about that. I think you do an amazing job, and thank you so much for joining us in our chat room. I want us to thank you to the following people that have just sent us all these tweets today. We've got Acer Attitude Era podcast, Inside the Ropes T Radio Show sent us a nice one. The Wrestling Mania, Andre Corbell has done another one. We've got all these people. Wrestle Ropes on Facebook. Pixie, what can we say? Ringside World, Matthew Moore, George from LSTD Radio, Georgia Smith, David T. Hanmer. Lens is endless. The list is absolutely endless. The fact that people have done this now. It says Northern Ireland. Oh, superb. Check on our links page. Your radio show's there. If you're doing nothing Monday nights, 10 o'clock, go and click on that thing on our links page and you get to listen to some great guys doing a great show. Going to go through the whole list now of our chat room. No, Nixy, I'll let you do it. Have you seen the picture I've put up of that guy humping an elephant?
No, I haven't.
Go and have a look on Facebook, on our Facebook page right now. I've put it up the right way, the wristband, the right way it's supposed to go, right? But the way I had it, it looks as though he's humping the elephant in a pool. And honest to God, and everything, right? Do you want to do the shout-outs or me?
It's up to you. What would you like?
Go on, you do it. You do the top half, I'll do the bottom half.
Oh, I get to do all the moderators.
Well, you do the bottom, I'll do the top. Go on. you start from the bottom and we'll meet in the middle. We'll do one each as we're going down, right? You go.
Right, so I start from the very, very bottom, right?
Yep, go.
Right, we better thank Ollie Harper, even though he's gone.
Yep. Nick's Carnation, thank you very much.
Honey Foof.
And Acer, thank you for everything you've done. Over the last 2 years, my sir.
Yeah, thank you to Outside the Ropes for joining us.
Yeah, great one, guys. Thank you. To Winter's Lair, our #1 Canadian fan and everything. He's done so much for us. An absolute star, but I still think Cowboys are shit.
Swear one, about time you turned up.
Swear one, absolute genius and legend. Thank you so much. Pixie, our ICW diva, our ICW mental case, and absolutely everything. What can we say about Pixie? Love her to bits.
Yeah.
Go on.
Sweet Chin Music 123, who lives in
Leeds.
tropical paradise of Leeds, where they'll surf.
Dirty Leeds.
Surf dudes.
The only thing they
clearly
surf,
Dean's not watched Ross Noble.
only thing they surf is on the rubbish that's in the fucking streets. That's exactly what Leeds do. Dirty fucking Leeds. They're in there.
I'm from tropical paradise of Leeds.
Yeah.
Surfing away here this evening.
Ross Briffett, Revolution Pro extraordinaire, a friend of the family, the one that does the Takeover radio show. Love you forever. Go on, next one for you.
Yeah, Mike.
It's your friend.
Yeah, Mike's review seen Insidious 2.
Yeah. Oh, you saw it?
He's seen it, yeah, the little dick.
Ah, there we go. And Brian Horswell.
I'll just clarify to everyone. I sat next to Webby in science for about 4 years at school.
Webby, might deserve an MBE, sir, for that MBE.
That's not fair.
Yeah.
That's not fair. And we're also going to Belgium in about 3 weeks.
Oh, how long are you going there for?
No, just the day. It's just day trip.
Oh, day
We're going to have lots of Belgian chocolate that Rob Smith, by the way, is not getting any of.
Oh, fair enough. To Brian Horswell, thank you so much for being in here, sir. It's been a great one tonight. And you've got one left, and I've got one left. Go on.
I've got fuck PG.
No, you haven't. There's one beneath it. SM Smarts.
Smart. I got smart. Sorry.
Smarts, you shit.
Sorry.
Don't keep him leading Miss Smarty, huh? He's a clad legend.
Sorry, I've short-sighted. I haven't got my glasses on.
And I want to say thank you to Fuck PG for having the best name in our chat room, one of the best names of the lot. How was your Sunday? What Sunday was that, sir? What was that? Last week? This week? Yeah, I forgot. Nixy just wanted to say shit. Oh.
Did she?
Yeah, I don't know. Nixy just wanted to say do you know you can't put a hashtag in our chat room? If you put a hashtag, it comes up with a speaker sign. You can't do it. Oh, this week, recovering, I went to a wedding yesterday that started at 5:30. I had to get up at 5:30 yesterday morning, put my suit on, shirt, tie, new haircut, everything, and went to the wedding where my wife was one of the bridesmaids, and got back out about 12:30 this morning. Absolutely dead to the world, and I literally had to drag myself out of bed to get a load of things, and I had to take an Xbox 360 game back and stuff. And if anybody wants to know, my Xbox 360 name is a homage to the Attitude Era. I love them puppies. There we go. We did have free booze. We had one bottle of Corona. We had one bottle of Corona each. What can I say? Brian Harris is an absolute legend. He's been giving me DVDs and stuff, and he's an absolute legend, and can't wait to see him at the 13th of October. It's an absolute dream that Brian's in here. Thank you so much, Brian, for being in this room. Are you back now?
Yeah.
Cool. Right, we're going to finish. We've gone 3.5 hours.
Yep. It's easier to do than Harvey Dent. And by the way, that picture is still bloody terrifying.
I know. I wanted to get rid of it. I can't believe he changed it.
You know what? Can you keep that? Can you try and keep that picture, and we'll just do something funny with it at some point? Something I'm going to do with it, and I'll think about it.
Right.
Actually.
Right. We're going to do this quiz next show. We're starting this quiz. We'd said about earlier on. Now, this is the announcement tonight. There's a couple of things we do during the week. There's BWR Bingo. Nobody won it last week because nobody got the amount of time between the start of the show and the first match. Mac was closest with 25. There was actually 26 minutes. You've got to get 4 out of 4 to win. That's all I'm going to say on that. The rules are simple. It's the first match when between the start and the first match on Raw. How many minutes? How many times will Michael Cole go a kick out at 2? And how many times will Jerry Lawler go, oh my gosh? And how many times will they say the WWE app, mention the WWE app in the show? There's the 4 things for BWR Bingo. Also, starting next week, we've got a thing on the phone line or Skype. We're going to be changing the way we do the shows. We're going to be changing a thing called Uvu, whatever you call it, which people can join in through Facebook. Okay? We won't need Skype anymore, so the phone line's going, so you can chat to us through Facebook, this Uvu service. We're going to do some test runs and see if it works for us. And if it works, then we're going to, if anybody can help me about seeing if it's good enough for us, then yeah, we'll go for it. We'll go for it and everything will be great. But there is a downside. There's no phone line. I don't think I'm going to pay for the phone line in the future, so I'm really didn't think. Wait, you're still Panther. I am just looking at it right now. Thank you for bringing it up. What I'm doing is I've got a suggestion to all these people that are still waiting for their prizes. I apologize with the biggest amount of heart. I'm going to go to the Southside Anniversary Show at the end of October, and what I'll do to say thanks, so sorry for the wait, is I'll get you a T-shirt from that day, the Martin Kirby Elder Gable cage match. So I'll get you a T-shirt commemorating that day. if that's okay for you to make it up. So he's just got to wait a bit of time. But at the end of October, I will send everything. Oh, outside the ropes, I would love that forever. If you was a guest on our show, we'll have to get that done. But Webby, please accept my apologies. Winter's Layer, I apologize, and Brendan, he's waiting and everything. And I'm stuffing me in it. I've been so busy trying to get everything together and stuff, and I'm really sorry. But your Steel Panther is here. I'm looking at it right now. In fact, I've got it in my hands here right now. All of them signed it and everything. So there you go. And I've got loads of stuff to send out. But I will make it up to you guys. I really am. Promise you on that one. I'm sorry, Webby, for that. I really am. Oh,
Why don't you just send it to me and I can give it to him?
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, I'll send it to you. And I'll send a T-shirt. Do you want a T-shirt again as well? From Southside? Because it looks like I've got to get 4 at the moment. I'll get 4 or 5. Don't matter to me. I'll get you a T-shirt. All right.
Thank you.
It's the cage match anyway. It's the cage match at the end of October. So I'll get that sorted. And stuff. Yeah. What, 6 months? All right, Winters. You didn't wait. Yeah, he did. It was 6 months.
He did wait 6 months.
Yeah, sorry, Winters. And I posted them bloody 2 of them months. It took forever to get the bleeding Canada. Jesus.
Blame Canada.
Yeah.
Blame Canada.
Right. Just going to say thank you again to everybody in our chat room that's done this. We'll get a contact with Outside the Ropes and get them on very, very soon. We'll have them on the show, and there'll be all fun and games with that one. Don't worry about a thing. Everybody, this little thing called British Wrestling Radio is getting bigger every week. I just want to say thanks to every single person that's mentioned us, tweeted us, followed us, liked us, kissed us backsides. Every single one. We've just done this thing, what we've done. And I'm still amazed people want to sit here and listen to us chat. And I really, really do. Evening Kirsch and stuff. But absolutely amazing night. Have you enjoyed yourself?
I have, yes.
I bet you have. A very happy belated birthday to this person at the other end of my headset.
Yeah.
She was 24 years old on Thursday.
Yeah.
And how was your birthday? Go on, we can say that now before we finish.
Do you know what? It was just really, I didn't do anything major. I just really quiet day. Really quiet day. I had just the morning sitting in here all by myself until my best mate come round. That was it really. Went out, didn't do very much. 25 more minutes, says Pixie.
No way.
The only problem with birthdays is I always want more presents.
Yeah, I've still got yours to get. Don't worry about that. I've still got yours. Don't worry about that one.
So
I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that.
I'm fashionably late for shows. You're fashionably late for presents.
Don't worry. I will make it up to you. I promise you. I know what I'm getting you.
This week, will BWR ever do a webcam? We tried to, didn't we?
We did. We tried to do the webcam, and for some reason it didn't work. But I found out exactly what that problem was that night.
Oh, what was it? Something stupid.
Yeah, it was because when you do a preview for Justin, you've got this little bar at the bottom that says if you can hear it and you can test it.
Yeah.
But I have since found out that it only works when you go live. So we could have gone live and everybody would have heard us, but we just think nobody could hear us at our end.
Oh, okay.
So that was why we fucked up. We'll do Uvo and everything. So we're going to test Uvo out.
To do that, won't there?
Yeah, we can do Uvos and everything. But there's more things coming from British Wrestling Radio. I've got some serious decisions I've got to make concerning BWR in 2014. That's one of the things I've got to sit, chill about and think about. I really have got to sit down and think about stuff in for the long run because I've got loads of things. Thank you to every person that sent goodwill messages to my wife this week. You've made her week. She is okay. She's in bed at the moment. She's okay. The latest news is she's going back in October to see what we can do with my wife at the hospital. I've got to tell you a funny story this week. Literally, this is brilliant. I got in the doghouse for this. Right, I was in the doghouse at the hospital for this, big style. The guy said to my wife, "You've got gallstones." The doctor, and she went, "Oh right." So while she's on there, and he goes, "We might have to use lasers." And all I heard was laser. That's all I heard. So all I did then was start reciting Star Wars to her. This is in the corridor of the A&E unit of the local hospital. And all she got was, they're coming in too fast. I can't shake them. Great kid, don't get cocky. And I'm going, stay on target. Loosen up. Stay on target. I can't shake him. But stay on target. And then I went, Luke, the Force will be with you always. My wife gave me the look of all evil looks. I just went, I can't help it. I just heard laser. That's all I heard. And I just heard laser, and I don't know where it came from, but just pointing a laser at my wife's stomach, going, "They're coming in too fast." Doing the Luke Skywalker Han Solo in the Millennium Falcon when they escaped from the Death Star. Just reciting that was just just one of them things. She wasn't very happy with me, and I love Star Wars. What can I say? I've got Star Wars on Blu-ray. I love it to bits. So I can't help it, but I'm a Star Wars freak. Some people are that. I'm Star Wars. I love it to bits. Right, the quiz we're on about. Finally get to the quiz before we go. The quiz starting next Friday is F&E. If you want to take part, you can ring us up on phone line, not Skype. Ring in and you could be asked 5 wrestling superstars. And the question is, did that character make its debut in the WWF or the WWE? If you get 5 out of 5 right, you've beaten us. Okay? If you don't, you'll get your arse owned by me and Nixy, because we'll just call you every name under the sun and say you're shit, and everything. So we're going to do that on Friday night, the F&E quiz. Just so everybody knows it, okay? We're going to have fun. We're just going to have fun and games to see if people know the history of wrestling and stuff like that with the WWF or the WWE. So if you're going to do that, then we'll do it. We might see if we can get Skype going again properly. I think that's it. I want to say massive thank you to Kev from the Attitude Era podcast, to the Brit Wres chat peeps, Shaman, Paul, Dave, and everybody, Bobby, the whole gang, to a very, very special guest, Miss Georgia Smith. That was one of the best ones of all time. Nixie knows how much, because she was like, you must have been laughing when I was on that.
Yeah, I was enjoying that, to be honest. I mean, that is that is for you, your thing.
To be honest with people, we contacted 3 people for tonight, and them 3 turned up. We contacted them 3. That was all we wanted. I wanted the Attitude Era for Nixie. I wanted the Brit Wres chat on guys because of the British wrestling thing. And I wanted Georgia Smith for me. And we did it. I hope you have enjoyed every single minute of tonight. I've loved every single second. And I always will. I'm now going to see if I can make some editing decisions and do that up and get that going. To everybody in our chat room that's coming, to Kirsch, who's just joined us as well. He's been here ages and ages and ages. To every single person, once again, thank you so much for doing this tonight. To this person at the other end of the headset, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. I am not serenading you down the headset again, so you can whistle with that.
I've got that saved, don't worry about
that. You haven't, have you?
I have, that's saved on my...
I sang happy birthday to Nixie on her birthday. She didn't pick the phone up, so I actually left it on the voicemail, because I knew she'd go to a voicemail. So, no, and I'm not doing John Cena no more. That's gone now. Thank you to everybody here, and I hope everybody's enjoyed themselves. I know I have. So, Nixie, I'll let you finish. Oh, I was going to say to Nixie, let's finish off, but she's disappeared. I'll finish it off. On behalf of Nixie Newman and me, Dean Mitchell, and everybody concerned with British Wrestling Radio, thank you for the last 3 hours, 42 minutes. Thank you so much to every single person that's ever done anything. Tonight has been the best night of ever. And I'll let Nixie have the last word. But thank you so much, everyone. Here's to the next 100. Thank you.
Here's to the next 100.
BWR 100. Take care, guys, and I'll let you have the last word with this young lady.
Why me?
You deserve
You,
it.
yeah, no, you started it. You always deserve the last word.
No, this has been an amazing night, and I love it to bits. And if you're in London in 2 weeks, come and say hi. I'm at Wembley Stadium. It's easy to spot me. I'll be dressed as the Ultimate Warrior in Pittsburgh Steelers colours.
You're just reliving the 20 years ago, aren't you?
I'm reliving everything. The Vikings, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out of here, motherfucking fucking cowboys and shit. Right, anyway, we're going to say goodnight, and I'll see you on Friday, Nick. All right, my love?
Yeah, will do.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Right. Nixy's gone. What she doesn't know is I've just got rid of Nixy for a reason. Right? Because she'll always interrupt me for this bit. So it's just me and you. Nixy doesn't know anything about this. So if anybody wants to give Nixy a message and say, tune into the show now, we're still going on, please do so. Right. I did this in the start. Right? And yes, 2 years ago we did do this. But there's a young lady who last week, right, and she better be listening to this, because if she's not, I'll knock her sideways. Right. Alright. Right. So I got rid of Nixy. So there we go. This is the bit she doesn't know about. Right. Make sure Nixie's listening, guys. That's all I ask. Right. Nixy Newman. The best thing of all time. Last week, Nixy Newman knocked it out of the park. And for the first time in her life, we saw and we heard Nixy being Nixy. She was amazing. She was 5 stars. She was out of the wall because she was so nervous about doing that show with a certain Harvey Dale. It was crazy. And she really needs to know this. The fact that she was amazing last Friday. There was no one to touch her. No one in this world. She was so nervous about doing that show with Harvey. She didn't know what to make of herself or how it was going to go. And she killed it. So, to Nixy, my co-host of the last 18 months, thank you so much for everything you've done for us. And every time you listen to this show, and every time you've done this show with us, everybody knows who you are. Everybody gives you the credit you deserve. And I know in my heart and hearts, you'll always be involved with wrestling, no matter if it's British Wrestling Radio or even up and into better things. You will be amazing, and you are amazing, and it's about time somebody told you that. Okay? Right. Now that's done. Now I'm going to say bye-bye. And I hope everybody else has a great rest, has a great Night of Champions. We didn't even talk about Night of Champions tonight. We're going to do that on Friday. Okay? Right. Friday, remember, 1 o'clock tonight, UK time, Night of Champions. Chat room's always open. Do what you wish. If you want to be in here, whatever you want. But take care, guys. Thank you, everybody, for being so great tonight. Loved every single one of you for support. You take care of yourself, and we'll see each other very, very soon. Bye-bye, and good night.